the will is what breaks.
Yeah.
The will breaks before the body breaks.
This week we have Mr. Hunter Seide.
Somebody losing some fat isn't the only signal of them getting stronger.
Hunter is an ultramarathoner, Jui Jitsu brown belt, powerlifter, 2-time American Ninja Warrior competitor, and the owner, head trainer of the Nomad Gym.
Everything's scary. We're a little bit less scared if you add a little bit of understanding. All these things that made it really uncomfortable and like kind of screamed like, don't do it. When you go outside and drop yourself somewhere, that's the true sense of you're the only person who can help you.
Before we get started, if you could do me one favor, if you received any value out of this podcast, please take the time to like and subscribe to the show. My goal is to keep growing this podcast and bring you the most creative and talented humans in the entire world. Taking the time to like, subscribe, and comment allows me just to do that. Thanks, y'all. We could start here.
There seems to be a serious movement of people thoughtfully drinking their own piss.
Really? Are you serious?
I'm surprised you haven't heard of this.
Are you joking with me?
You've definitely heard of this.
Are you busting my balls right now?
It's a thing. I would say pull out the phones and prove it, but it's nice having like a phone screen-free moment with you here, Nate.
Yeah,
yes,
it's
yes,
awesome.
yes.
But you're serious. What's the reasoning?
I'm not serious, but
Yeah, what are those people?
it seems to be a thing.
What's the reasoning behind it for them?
There are a host of health benefits that they claim, and I don't think it would surprise many of us to assume that some of them are not based on any kind of truthful workings of the universe.
How much do you think?
But it's a lot of hype, right?
Yeah.
It's the first thing we're talking about, literally, because it's on somebody's mind, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did it. Awareness.
I mean, in a dire situation, you would have to, right? Like, it's the only liquid that you have.
Apparently, maybe the first cycle of like some typical urine, some average urine, I don't know what the averages are, you can get some hydration from it.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I feel like if you're super dehydrated already, like, there's not a lot of water in there.
Sure. So we would imagine it does vary based on...
This isn't urine, though.
Let's clear it up for the people.
We have...
Is this urine?
We
Nate?
have some salted maple H2O.
Excuse me?
Why do we have this on our table?
You inspired it with your vast knowledge of nutritional methodologies.
I don't think so. I think I have really
Cheers.
good friends who are smart. And cheers. Like pancakes, bro.
That's the first thing that comes to mind.
For sure.
Okay. And is the salt necessary for that?
Yes, 100%.
That memory to come up?
Yes.
Okay.
What does it bring back to you? It's a new flavor.
I generally taste Canada.
Canada?
Yeah. Canada extract.
Yeah.
Because they have to boil... Well, they don't have to. They choose to boil down the collected tree sugar.
Uh-huh.
You know, you tap it. And then the stuff comes out. And I believe it's boiled
After that?
once or more times
Oh, to like get out the germs and shit?
to concentrate the
Oh,
flavors.
concentrate it.
Yeah, concentrate the good stuff. He's sipping it again so early.
It's so good.
I think that means it's being enjoyed.
It's being enjoyed. It's tasty. But why are we drinking it?
First of all, it tastes like
good.
pancakes in Canada. So wouldn't you want that experience more often in your life than it was before?
For sure, 100%.
Okay. So we can start there.
Start there.
The method is to perform the best we can with the things we have access to.
Perform in the ways we want to perform, or perform just in general, like life?
We'll get to the larger umbrella.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure we'll get to that. But what we're talking about. We're talking about endurance athletics. Yeah. Specifically.
Hunter's the crazy man that convinced me to run 30 miles with one
31.
32 point. Yeah. Something. Slightly over 30.
Yeah. You deserve every mile and tenth of a mile credit for what you did that day.
Hunter has this weird calming way of getting you to do things. Because he was like, yeah, you want to do a 50K? I was like, when is it? I was like, I don't know if I want to. And he was like, it won't be that bad. Like, it's only a few hours. You think about it just in hours, not in miles. Like,
sure.
How many hours do you have to be on the mountain?
Yeah.
And I was like, it's only 6 hours of my life, 7 hours of my life, 8 hours of my life. I was
you work much longer than that.
Yeah.
You're on your feet doing stuff already. So
I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And then I signed up and I'm like, did you really just sign up for that? People were asking me. I was like, is that not crazy? I mean, is this crazy? You make it sound so normal, bro.
But the truth.
Yeah.
I know it too. Is it crazy?
It is crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking
crazy.
Cheers.
Cheers, brother. Yeah, these ultra marathon runners are different, dude. You wouldn't expect them to look the way they do, in my opinion. Right? Because, they might not be the most aesthetically looking fit person from what most people have in their brain of aesthetically fit person.
That's right.
Would you agree?
And wouldn't we kind of find that in most sports in general?
No.
There are certain sports that are more in line with aesthetically pleasing physique thing when it's optimized, but maybe many sports are not. I mean,
pretty explosive sports, I think so. So you look at basketball, football, volleyball, track. Mm-hmm. A lot of them are shredded to the bones and have very
track sprinters are jacked. They look like bodybuilders.
Yeah, except they could move better. They're not like
the trend.
Did you have that walk? You had that walk at one point in your life.
Yeah, I didn't know how to walk. Yeah. Yeah.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, me and Hunter both from our last conversation. Hunter was on the podcast. Is it over a year now?
And you're super nice to include me in this super cool thing.
It's elevated, guys. Hunter came when I was shooting from my iPhone, and
it was great.
The mic is great.
The stuff you created then was also awesome.
Yeah, it's getting better.
And maybe even we should appreciate it more because the equipment at that time compared to the equipment, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could make something dope.
Yeah.
Man, on that stuff.
That's one thing that I have a hard time hearing from people is that they can't do something because of the lack of equipment they have. And that could be in fitness. That could be in media. I've seen this dude, Hunter, edit so quickly on his phone, in the middle of a mountain, with his pinky finger, bro. And it's out in the next hour and, it does well. In terms of, you don't need that much to do the thing that you want to do.
And you've shown that.
Yeah.
You've shown that.
100%.
For sure.
Yeah. I'm just talking about fitness, too.
That's right. Totally, that's right. And it's a valid concern. Because I feel like it seems a lot of the stuff, there's a baseline equipment need. To play baseball, you got to have a bat type of thing.
Yeah.
And a ball type of thing.
Yeah. The running part's weird because it's basically, you really don't need anything if you don't want it.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Now we're getting somewhere.
It's the most minimal sport.
Yes.
And it's different the way we're doing it because I could definitely trek through the mountains faster with a fat cushion on my foot. Doing it in
some, yes.
Yeah.
In a lot of scenarios.
Especially on the downhill, in my opinion. Because you could kind of take the damage down to very minimal versus
less, perhaps.
Yeah.
If you have the right skills.
Yeah.
Totally.
100%.
Yep.
But in some cases,
if you, because you're very skilled with the very minimal and the barefoot, you've done lots of miles with no shoes at all.
Yeah.
And then a ton more miles with a sandal. Shout out to Mazatli.
Shout out Mazatli footwear.
A sandal that is, probably around 8 millimeters thick at the sole, and is completely flexible, and you have those skills, is what I'm saying. So, like, if you put on some ultras, the cushionest pair they got, you definitely could do some serious speed. Yeah.
Especially on the way down.
But, as you see.
So we did this 50K a month ago.
December 16th?
December 16th.
Okay.
So not even a month ago.
Less than a month ago.
Guys. And we did them in the Mazatli sandals. How many millimeters are mine versus yours?
Yeah, yours are even thinner.
Yeah.
Yours might be like a 6 millimeter or
so
something like that.
we're running, and I got in mad pain around like mile 26, and my feet were hurting, and my cardio was like fine. It's like your tools don't work. So like your baseball or your glove, like it's your actual person isn't working.
Yeah.
Like
that's your equipment.
Yeah. Every step was like a sharp pain, and I was just like, all right, we're going. And at some point I was just like, that's when I realized, I was like, okay, this is where if I had a fat cushion under, I was like, I could go way faster.
You could go way faster.
Way faster. Because it's literally just your feet hurting. It's not cardio.
And listen to this guy, so savage. He's like, around mile 26, I started feeling it.
Hunter ditched me, though. Hunter was like, bye, dude. I need to get my miles in.
I feel bad about that.
Don't. It was very the route was fine.
What?
To not get lost in.
What made it somewhat acceptable is that, like, it's you.
Oh, yeah.
It's Nate.
Thanks, man.
So you know exactly where you are.
No.
Exactly what you're doing. Why you're there. You made sure no other elements of distraction existed.
Yeah. The phone one, I didn't touch the phone.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. From previous experience and stories, I was like, oh, definitely don't touch the phone.
The phone, well, okay. Back to as minimal as possible.
Yeah.
Right. Running, you kind of don't need anything. Right. It's like really stripped down, especially if you enable yourself like you have with barefoot skills and experience and some comfort. And then you got the routes in your head, where in the town, where in Los Angeles to go.
Yeah.
You know your spots in the Verdugo's, your spots in Griffith Park. Just go out and hit it. Truly, everything stripped away. All the stuff stripped away.
Everything.
And then
I forgot to tell you what happened when some lady saw me in the Palisades. I took two of my clients out. Everyone was barefoot. And
beautiful spot.
Beautiful.
By the way.
And it was right after the rain. And
probably real green and
super green.
The ground is like a
wet.
little softer.
No, this was like soft. Like it felt nice.
And those are the primo barefoot moments.
Yeah, and then
take advantage of that.
And then you go up and there's a little bit of rocks. It feels like a massage on your foot. So I bring these two 20-year-olds and my sister, and we're hiking just in a line up this hill, barefoot. And this lady comes. She's on shoes. I was like, "Hi, how are you doing?" She was like, I was like, "Excuse me."
Shoes, by the way. Lady got shoes on.
She's like, I'm doing great. I know you're not. And then just kept walking away. And I was like, okay.
Couldn't see herself doing that, right?
Yeah.
So it's impossible.
But I was so shocked. I was like, I'm having a nice time. Like, I say hi to you with a great attitude.
Great attitude.
And just like, I know you're not. And I was like, oh, all right.
Okay.
It's kind of crazy. I was just like, just because I'm not wearing shoes. Objectively.
How is that so offensive to people?
I don't get it.
They're intimidated.
Is that the word? Is that the thing?
I mean, it's intimidating. You're like, what the?
Yeah.
Person might have thought, oh, I had to work so hard to be up here. It took everything I got. These motherfuckers coming up in sandals. It challenges like your idea of like, oh shit, I thought I worked hard. Damn it. Like
the weighted carry and at night was crazy too.
Tell me about that. You did what exactly?
So orange kettlebell is
50 some pounds?
no, it's like 65.
65 fucking pounds.
Yeah. At night was ridiculous.
So it's dark there.
Pitch black.
Yep. And it's in a residential area.
Yeah.
In the hills, so there aren't real streetlights nearby to reflect upward at all, right?
Zero.
So it's you're out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this metal weight on your back is just like cram it against your shoulder.
Because there's no convenient way to carry a kettlebell.
And if you guys don't know, like wisdom tree is really technical.
I would say it's advanced technical.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Especially if you're trying to go quickly uphill in the middle of the night.
With a kettlebell.
With a kettlebell.
Yeah. It's one thing to wear, okay, if you wear a vest that's 65 pounds, holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy.
The kettlebell as well.
Okay, so now you're condensing it and putting it in a way that you can't carry it on your center.
Yeah. You just work it differently.
And it's painful.
Yeah.
Did you wear a hoodie?
Yes, that helped.
Super helpful.
Super helpful.
Shout out to hoodies.
Shout out to hoodies.
Yeah, it's a great squat.
So Hunter
Protection.
did it with you maxed at 150 pounds, right?
150 pound what do you call those?
Medicine ball?
Slam ball.
Slam ball?
Yeah, so it's kind of gooey.
Yeah.
And that rubber hard edge, it's
So,
really good at not ripping.
Did you have a sweatshirt? Mm-hmm. That helped with the ball too?
The one I wore here tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice and cushy.
That helped with the ball too?
Really helped with the ball.
Yeah. Especially
Especially on the way home, because if you recall, hubris they call it. I've heard of it. Becoming acquainted.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, all the homies, and everybody's gonna take the biggest ones we got. So it's
Yeah.
like a 70, an 80, a 90, 100 with no tread on it, no texture.
Yeah.
The other ones got texture. So the 100 is glossy.
Yeah, it might slip.
It slips easy, and when you drop it, because you will drop it,
It'll fall.
it's hard to
Pick it up.
clean it off the ground. So your forearms are getting ripped up. It's like the skin you're missing, and all on your fucking face and shit. Yeah. Took it up with the homies. Sergio, Avery, Ali, Jacob, and we took them all. And then
you got stuck with the 150.
yeah, so the only other one I have out of that kit, 70, 80, 90, 100, is 150. So I'm like, shit, if I'm going to... we're not going to take another smaller ball.
Oh, so that was your thought. You were like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to take the 150.
Exactly.
I'm not taking a 40-pound ball.
Yeah. And the choice had been really taunting me because we had the plan for a week.
Oh, so
had
this
the plan.
wasn't just let's go. You planned this out.
We had the plan for a week. Ali, Avery, Sergio.
Yeah.
The four of us were going to go and take the 70, 80, 90, 100.
Okay.
And I'm like, am I a punk for not taking a 150? Because if you scale our body weights and in that group, I should be taking the 150. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The moments I see Ali carrying the 100, I'm like, okay, all right. I'm significant more body mass on me than on her.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna scale it at all fair for body mass,
Yeah.
then I better take the fucking 150.
Okay. So you did it without the 150 first, or you definitely first time you did 150?
I think the night before, as I'm
you switched it out.
deciding to swallow my shame about not taking the 150
Yeah.
and taking the 100 instead. The homie Jacob hit me up. Hey, yo, I'm in town. You guys doing any adventures this weekend? I'm like, this guy's down for sure, because he does ultra length runs in the mountains, and crazy jiu-jitsu, and swims in the Cold River in West Virginia.
That's crazy. He used to work at Nomad, right?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, he was here, and he's the man.
Man. Something about those the weighted carries though, it's none like any other workout I've done, in the sense of
How so?
your legs are taxed, but for example, when you're taxed out from a squat or a lunge or anything that's standing and you're hinging from your knees and hips, it's very structured in the gym. Even if you try to make it unstructured, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
So this one's totally different in the sense of you could have 90% of your weight on like one leg while balancing for the other leg. Your core is just squeezing because this kettlebell that you don't know how to hold is just in a weird spot to maneuver. And
Awkward spot. Very awkward spot.
And the dark definitely plays a factor too. It's
Huge
like
role.
your brain's like, okay, you need to be safe here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it's stimulating in all the ways versus like a squat is great to build strength, but I never was really tested in all those I guess departments of the physical body.
Totally.
Would you agree?
And a squat is a somewhat accessible, can be in a safe, controlled environment. You'll find that equipment out a lot of places if you want to use the barbell thing. A lot of people are out there teaching it. It's like it's a fairly accessible tool, the squat, as an exercise. And your squats helped you prepare for your weight carries.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
1,000%.
So you can go into like a more dangerous environment and push yourself to the next stage. So they're both great.
Oh, yeah.
Conventional exercise is a powerful, like, we think about it kind of like...
What's conventional exercise to you?
You know the answer to that.
I know, I'm asking you.
Conventional exercise is like, you know, when you look online and you ask ChatGPT, make me a exercise program. The things that'll come up.
You won't see
Our
weighted
conventional
kettlebell
exercise.
carry up a mountain.
You won't see those things that are choices you make as a result of your curiosity.
Yeah.
You know, if you get curious with the fitness stuff, and of course with anything, we know, of course with everything, if you get curious with the fitness stuff, now you're working out.
Yeah.
Now you're working out. Now it's no longer preparing for situations outside the gym.
Yeah.
You are in a fucking situation, dude. You're in the dark.
You're not,
on a
you're
technical
not
hike.
prepping for anything, you're doing it.
You are doing the thing
that
people might imagine.
Yeah.
You're out there doing it.
Doing the thing. Just
You're
skip the practice. Just go right into it.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, of course, we could speak about it like it's a vain thing. But, you know, also...
I don't think it's a vain thing, though.
When you see the transformation that happens in people that observe you while you're doing that.
Oh.
The onlookers.
Yeah.
You already described one story.
Yeah.
It pissed somebody off because it was so intimidating what you were doing. They had to talk trash right there, too.
Bro, it's 100% when we're in groups, too. Like, they were like, oh, this guy's crazy. And then,
Oh, what?
Oh? Do they know something I don't know by the sixth person, bro?
Yes.
It's like we got so many of them now. So like Tommy came on and he was rocking his Mazatlis too when we went to the Bridge to Nowhere. It was the first time he tried him on the trail. And he was Spider-Man, dude. He's jumping from rock to rock, like
excited.
And people were like, who the fuck is this guy jumping from rock to rock in sandals,
and
bro?
Some flip-flops.
And some flip-flops. And then they see me walk by and they're like, oh, what's up? And they're like, what? And then
another one?
They saw Sergio and they're like, what?
And all these people are fit and
Yeah.
smiling.
That's the thing.
And like sharing good vibes.
In shorts.
And
And
in the Angeles forest.
We were laughing.
In the winter.
I know. We were laughing our brains out, dude. And there was a couple of people like struggling like to get up there.
Yeah.
And they were like, what's so funny? And I was just like, oh, we're just having a good time. Like...
Madness.
I was like, whoa.
So it seems...
Because like they feel like a playground to us now.
Yeah.
Like especially the mountains that we've been around.
It is
like
it's
like your inner child's free to just like roam free.
Free. Totally free. And like you mentioned again, no really crazy equipment needs.
Hey, you got those poles this year though.
The poles is of course a step up in
they
gear.
Definitely help.
They help. And you know, this like the stick is like an old human tool, you could say. You know
Stick's been around for a while.
Stick's been around for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. They might predate us. Is that a
but
wild claim?
They don't
Sticks came first.
They don't have the chicken or the egg, the stick or the human.
I'm seeing this really cool stuff, and I believe it's on the Canary Islands, and they're herding mountain goats.
Okay.
Wild concept.
Yeah.
So they got to get around this mountainous terrain, and the videos too are like 80-year-old dudes, I swear, doing it like flawlessly. Big long stick that they've carved from whatever, and they're on the edge of the mountain, and they take this stick and they hit the little spot like the mountain goat would jump down to, and then they perfectly balance on it like a firehouse escape second floor thing, and they just
slide onto it.
They slide down, and then they pick it up, and they take it down to the next level, and then they ride on it, and then they push it, and then they just keep going down.
What?
And it's incredible.
Is that real?
It's real.
That's crazy.
To herd mountain goats, and then they use it to go up too. They'll plant it, and then walk upward and push the thing down.
It just evolved to be a carbon stick that helps us go up mountains now.
Yeah, now some carbon fiber bullshit. And that's interesting.
Yeah, this stick, in a lot of aspects, if you think about it, is used a lot in fitness. Like you look at PVC pipe, you look at you look at barbells.
We already mentioned the barbell tonight.
Yeah. You know,
big stick.
Yeah,
Man carry stick.
you could use it for mobility. You use it for strength training. Yeah, I feel like just a solid standard stick that won't break. You could do a lot with.
That one goes kick. That's true.
Do squats with it.
Yeah. So the sticks are great. And that's fun. The vest is fun.
Yeah.
Wonderful gear by nice people.
So I don't really. I kind of just got into it because you started inviting me, from what I understand, on the couple hikes.
Yeah, to trail runs.
But I thought it was still new when you were doing it because you're like, I remember hearing you go with a backpack. You didn't have the Ultratex yet.
The vest.
The vest. You didn't have the vest yet when I knew you.
So definitely a lot of your listeners are running.
Yeah.
For sure. The vest is very helpful. Any vest,
but when
as
did
opposed to a backpack or other stuff,
when you
got fanny pack, whatever. Vest will be helpful if you can find one.
But when did you get into the trail running stuff? Because I kind of just hopped in at I don't know what point.
I just hit my 3 years of trying to trail run thing, so it's new.
Recently,
it's new for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was still pretty new when I met you.
Yeah, brand new when you met me. Yeah.
Because you didn't have the old sandals yet though. Sergio was talking about the one loop sandals.
Yep. Yeah, I was wearing some factory sandals.
Yeah.
I tried to not support big sandal. Okay. Support Mazatli footwear and get the best.
It's the best. But what inspired you just to do barefoot and minimalistic running? Because you were a powerlifter before.
Yeah.
You did a bodybuilding show.
Yes.
You were on American Ninja Warrior.
Yes.
How does that go all the way to running with sandals in the mountains for many, 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 many miles?
Strip it all down.
Where did your curiosity go to do that? Did one of your friends, was they an ultra marathon runner? Did you just get into running all of a sudden?
Well, Avery.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to, and we may have even I feel like we might have even told this story at our last podcast.
I don't know.
Avery really wanted to do the California riding and hiking trail in Joshua Tree.
Okay.
Which is some epic, 37.5 miles, 4,000 feet elevation gain, which isn't a ton of climb for 37.5. But he really wanted to do it. And it's, it goes through very remote parts of the park. Most of it is not serviceable by, street cars.
So you get to see parts of the park that you wouldn't get to see.
You're way down south there in the beginning,
Yeah.
and like you stay below all the big campsites, and I think you cross once
Okay.
a campsite, and then you go way back out in the stuff. And it seemed to be like, we had never done ultras, we never done anything like this. You know, he's a great runner. He's an amazing runner. He's done multiple marathons. You know, did long distance when he was a kid. Sick. So like the physical athletics part didn't make me worried for my friend. Just the remoteness and the supplies you would need to, you know, go that long without an aid station or a interception or stashed gear or anything like that. So it freaked me out. This is my buddy.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what? Like, I respect the grind, but like,
wait, you good?
That solo without ever doing like that type of event before?
Is this a legit event, or is this just by yourself?
Solo, unsupported.
Oh,
you
just
roll
by
in.
yourself.
Yeah. You don't even enter through the park entrance. Like, you just enter in the wilderness.
Okay.
And you get on the little trail.
How did he find out about it?
Forums and all trails and, you know, all the great services that are out there.
Yeah.
It's probably on Strava. I would imagine segments of it are all over all the apps. And you want to do it. And I'm like, well, you know, you really want to do it. And it's badass. Like, will you allow me to help you strategize a little bit? You know? Because, you know, care about your friends.
Yeah.
If it were you trying to do the same thing, I'd be like, Nate, how can I help? How can I serve you in the planning or execution phase
of this?
Because, like, you know, we're trying to enable each other to do some serious shit, right?
Yeah, legit
and the shit gets messy, bro.
Yeah.
You know it does.
Yeah.
So, Avery, how can I help you plan? Thinking about it, looking at it, reading, exciting. And, like, I had never run before this point.
Yeah.
No way.
3 years ago. This is around 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm an old ass man. You know what I mean?
Young buck still hunter.
So I'm 32.
Yeah.
When I start thinking about being
running.
interested in running.
Yeah,
period,
just running in general.
Period.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're asking all the friends and who wants to do it, and there's some cool runner adventure people who we could go to. We're lucky enough to have a circle that involves that. Hey, would you do it? Would you do it? No. Would you do it? Oh, sounds cool. Nah. What's it like? Nah, fuck that shit. You know?
Yeah.
Couldn't find anybody. And just kind of in panic. I put on the gear one day. Like, okay, put like 2 gallons in the backpack. Yeah, this is shitty gear. 2 gallons
of water?
Yeah, like the grocery store.
Are you serious?
Yeah, in a backpack that's gonna hurt like a motherfucker. Put the jacket on, put the leggings on, put the chunky ass shoes, the Merrell trail gloves, which are relatively minimal apparently.
Yeah.
But chunky ass shoes on, and just ran from my apartment door to see how far I can handle.
Okay. How far was it?
Didn't like tell Avery or anything. And I died. Like, I went till I fucking murdered myself.
Oh, how far was it?
2 miles.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Like, it was tough. 2 miles.
Wrecked.
Wow.
All the muscles in the lower leg.
Just in the neighborhood, not even on the mountain.
Yeah, in the streets of Glendale. Yep.
So not even a mountain.
Nope.
Wow.
No climb, no nothing. Down the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Murdered myself. I mean, you can see also that my sense of toughness at the time is not strong.
Not as strong.
Yeah.
Hunter did over 80 miles last week.
Okay. So after the 2 miles, all right, I'm wrecked. I do the 2 miles. I'm toast. I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed.
Yeah.
I'm afraid.
Were you shocked?
I'm afraid of continuing to live life with this sense of what I can't do. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like,
it got to that point. Like, you really thought that?
Immediately.
Wow.
Like, I was afraid. Like, I was like, dude, you can't move around. You can't even run fucking 2 miles.
2 miles.
Like, what? You're a fitness professional.
Yeah.
Like, that's your main
And
source of
2
income.
miles.
You can't fucking run 2. This is absurd. This is disgusting.
Yeah.
And I was always like a naysayer of running, and then it's like this thing defeated me first try. Wow. Immediately. And so the next day I'm like, I gotta push. 4 miles, all the gear.
You did it?
Try again.
Okay.
Yep. Still haven't talked to Avery. I'm just freaking out that he's going to go do this thing, and he had decided on a date on like near Christmas.
And how far out is this from when you did those?
Okay, so the 2-mile run was Thanksgiving.
Oh shit!
I did it on Thanksgiving, 2020. I go on, I got the 2 miles, and I got wrecked. And then the day after Thanksgiving, I went and got the 4. Yeah, and then like I think like I got to take a couple rest days after that. You know, I'm screwed. Yeah. And I kind of start looking on Google Maps, like, okay, how can I make it like a 6 convenient? Let me figure this out, like around the footbridge and the golf course and forest lawn. So I went to the 6, survived. Okay. Sort of figuring out how to be a little lazier in the approach, you know, like not trying so hard as that first 2 mile day, like just, okay, just like you got 2 legs, dude. Figure it out. Like,
because each step,
figure it out.
You don't want it to take too much energy.
No, you got to analyze it and put the foot in the right spot relative to your body weight and the ground. Mm-hmm. You know, the reason the weight carriers are so insane, like you mentioned, is the uneven ground. Yeah. Nobody's doing squats on uneven. Like, it's different. It's a different skill. So, handled the 6. Then I'm like, I got to do some climb. Mm-hmm. I didn't like, you know, I wasn't in touch with the trails like that. So the first climb, to accommodate my first climb, I go to Silver Lake to the stairs in the neighborhoods. So I can do, that was my idea of doing inclines. Yeah. And I just looped it. And that's what I told Avery. I was like, dude, I've been running. He's like, yeah.
Oh, so Avery was already doing the trails.
Oh, yeah. He was into it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
like the ones that we've been going on a lot.
I think he was a Griffith guy at that time. Yeah. Griffith Park. Shout out to Griffith Park. Great hike trails. Endless hike trails.
They're very good on your feet, those guys.
Yeah. Lots of soft, like chopped up ground that the horses like to trot around on and smash up and keep it all cushiony. And the shits are great cushion, especially on barefoot days. You know that shit feels cushiony as fuck.
Go step in shit, guys.
You step your toes right in, you just let it squish between the toes.
I hope you guys vividly saw that scene that Hunter just painted for you.
It's gross and probably not that great, but like
to how you said.
Okay, hold on. So then I get the 10. Okay, you get the 10. I do the loops. Yeah. And I got some climb in it. I'm like, oh shit. And I was wrecked. Yeah. I went to the headlamp had to come out, and I was like, stopping at my car every 2 mile. I think it was like 1.7 miles or something dumb like that. So then I'm like, Avery, what do you think, man? Like, could we just walk that 37? Would you go slow just to bring me along? And I could be your co-pilot? Mm-hmm. And he's like, you crazy. But like, yeah, sure. Oh. Let me. And then it's sort of like the test he decided, I remember, was we got to do the Griffith Park loop that he likes. It's 7 miles. Okay. 7 miles and probably 1,000.
Oh. I've done that with him a lot.
You've done that at night, I think, a couple times with him. Yeah.
Great
barefoot route, right?
Great
barefoot route. So we got to do it twice in a row, and one stop at the car. So 7 miles and 7 miles again, and we did it. And he's like, "Yeah, I guess you're coming to Joshua with me." So again, the 2 miler was on Thanksgiving. Here's night before Christmas.
Damn.
We're driving 2 cars out. We got to plant one at the end because it's a through run. Yeah. It's not a loop. Plant one at the end. Other guy gets in. And this is, after a week of work. So like Friday night, drive out there, 3 hours, turns into 4 hours, rest stops, freaking out, anxiety, stalling, needing emotional support each other. Yeah. And, we get out there late as fuck. And, it's like 11:58 p.m. Yeah. And we get out the car at I forget what it's called, Black Rock Campground, I believe. And smoked a couple joints, put the backpacks on with the gallons of water in it.
Both of you guys.
Start going.
Yeah.
Midnight on Christmas. And I think we did it in like 12 hours.
And how did it feel?
It felt like I started to see what what we're made of. You know what I mean? I got like a little glimpse.
What we're made of? What do you mean by that?
All of us, you know, inside the potential algorithm that you're carrying around in your vessel, your healthy vessel. Hopefully it's healthy.
Hopefully.
Nate's, it is. Hopefully yours is. And hopefully you're working to improve it. And we're going to talk about that too.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah.
With like a disgusting half-ass, quarter-ass effort, you know?
Yeah.
Like I
Similar feeling.
I disrespected running with that prep. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
That was sad.
I definitely had that one too, bro.
That was sad. Disgusting. And so grateful for Avery to like have the belief
that you could do it.
That I could do that much more than what the final training test was. 14 miles.
I guess it's the same thing that when you told me that I could do it, I was like, oh.
And it's a jump in, right? It's a jump right in.
Big jump in.
It's a do it. We didn't sit and say, what's the plan, the 9-week plan, the prep, the peaking, and all those things are effective and wonderful. But you didn't look for the perfect this, the perfect that, the try 5 different, shoes. All you just, okay, this is the basic steps, boom, boom, boom. We're going to sign up and we're going to put ourselves in there. Now, that's it. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Put yourself in. You go.
It was, again, after 4 weeks of work.
Because, we were okay with a good chance of, failing or choosing to just cut it short early.
Yeah.
Right? that didn't scare us enough to not sign
do
up.
it.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, let's, you saw it which is wonderful. You saw it as an opportunity to
see what I could do.
See what you can do.
Yeah.
See what we're made of.
Yeah.
You want that taste.
It really, I don't know what the feeling was. I was like, it was more mental than anything. Because in your brain, you're just one foot after the other. Keep going. You're not done yet. Just because you have this number in your head of what the race tells you to do. Mm-hmm. Therefore, you don't think you're finished. In any other situation, if I just went outside and ran and I was like, oh, I'm going to run 20 miles. And if I'm absolutely dead, I'll probably stop because there's no structure to it, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh yeah, if it says it's going to be 32 miles, I'm just I guess I'm doing it.
Guess he's doing it.
Yeah.
And you put yourself in.
Some more
dude, it was good.
Maple syrup.
Yeah, that piss. Sorry. It's maple syrup.
It's healthy for you guys.
It's maple syrup.
There's a lot of vitamins in it.
so before it was we were all about fasted. So in that first series in the Joshua Tree, and then we did some other stuff. We went to Death Valley and did 42 miles. That was insane. Then we went to Santa Cruz Island, ran across it to get to a boat. The boat would leave if we didn't go fast enough.
What was the purpose of the fasted?
So yeah, we did all those first adventures.
Yeah, what was that about? Because I used to be a big fasted guy too, and now I eat before I work out, and I honestly feel a lot better.
A lot better.
Yeah.
Or during the workout.
During.
Especially for the ultra endurance days.
I mean, even in weightlifting though.
Oh yeah.
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 But I used to like the feeling of just working out with nothing in your stomach.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's light.
It's
motivating. Yeah?
Yeah.
Totally. To need that nourishment. I'm chasing it. Mm-hmm. It kind of helps you.
A little bit.
And it's a fun thing too to plan your fun meal after the workout. It'll get you going.
Yeah. Well.
So I guess that brings us back to maple syrup. Mm-hmm. Right. So we fasted just because of the bravado and it's the purest way, again, stripping it down, stripping it all down. Well, that was the real, we're going there, trying to find out what we're made of.
Yeah.
Right. Put all the shit away, gear, go to minimal shoes, find the sandal guy, tell him to make them thinner. Mm-hmm. Watch him turn it into something incredible.
Yeah.
Less. Then, okay, let's get into context. We're out here just doing it on our own, unsupported, not sanctioned routes or sign-ups or T-shirt or any of that stuff. Mm-hmm. So we're also doing strip it all away with the planning, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're surviving these. It's not pretty. There's a There's for sure a bonk every single time. You hit your wall and you got to crawl home type of thing.
Yeah.
In all those. And we're so damn lucky because there were moments. There were messy ass moments.
Define messy.
Like, I'm not coming home that weekend.
Oh, damn.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Luckily we came home
Yeah.
every weekend. And, you know.
Why do you think we like, or a lot of people like, athletes like, to push themselves to that wall? Like, because there's something addictive to it.
Mm-mm.
Because why it objectively, from a quote unquote normal person perspective,
Yep.
I think you're crazy.
You are. You identified this earlier in the conversation.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is kind of crazy.
You are crazy. But aren't we fucking built for that?
You just talking about like evolution, like of like the human work jobs and like the like back to farming, back to hunting and gathering type of deals.
Yeah. Before farming.
Yeah, before farming.
Well, even during farming.
During farming.
Built for it.
Yeah.
Gotta push it.
Like there's some strand of DNA left in there that we could do that shit.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
those fears and those anxieties and those boredoms and all, like that's all in us to like make us fucking go chase the shit.
Yeah. I know.
You know what I mean? So like we are living in this very accommodating, quite privileged modern
Society.
style,
Yeah, we got water, guys.
and
we got fridges.
and something isn't all there.
Yeah.
So you're going to chase it, Nate.
Yeah.
Right?
Literally.
You're going to chase it.
Literally.
All of those,
Yeah.
athletes and all kinds of stuff everywhere. It's like you're chasing that.
Yeah.
Next, like how far can I push myself
I think
and find out what we're made of down there?
It's funny the thoughts that come up in those struggling times when you're hitting that wall.
And how does that appear for you?
What do you mean?
In let's say in that 32 mile that you just accomplished.
Yeah, I mean, the whole time, especially the last 6 miles, the whole time what I told myself was, whoa, it's crazy that you're blessed to have this body that could do this right now.
Whoa, it's capable, man.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, it's still going.
It's
because
going.
like I made up in my mind that I'm just if my body stops, that's when I stop. And my body like kept going, and I was like, because at 26, when you kind of gave me your out, you're like, Nate, like if you're really having a tough time, like no pressure to finish, bro. Like you've done more miles than you've ever done. It's more than your marathon.
Yeah.
In 2019, I was like, oh, okay. But then I was like, no, I decided to do the fucking, 50K. Like, if my body stops, cool. Like, that's okay. But at least I gave it my all. But
Let's keep chasing it.
Let's keep going.
You did it.
It was wild, dude.
You did it.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Super cool.
Felt good. Felt good.
Felt good, accomplished. Yeah.
Felt real good.
Especially on the little training.
Yeah, impressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like you were kind of reluctant to do the race. Running's pretty uncomfortable.
You made it so comfortable though. Like Hunter, again,
we were
it's super
anxious
fun.
about the time between the decision and
Yes.
the actual event.
Yes.
Like all these things that made it really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And like kind of screamed like don't do it. Right?
Never had that.
You're brave. You're brave.
I think I just trust you, bro.
I appreciate that. That's really nice of you to give me that trust.
Yeah.
Totally. That means a lot. And I took it seriously. So we
Yeah.
tried to plan best we could for success, and you succeeded.
The thing is, like, I've been going through life right now to where everything's scheduled in. I'm just like, oh, I'm doing this right now at this time. Like, I don't want to do this file like for podcasting or for taxes or like whatever, but it says that I'm doing it this time. So like for that evening, it was like, oh, ultra marathon, and then you're going to work. And I was like, okay, this is what I'm doing this morning. And I showed up. That's literally what I thought.
Jump right in.
And do
Found
it.
out.
Yeah, and find out like what this is about. And again, it shocked me because all these people, they didn't look like athletes. Circling back around from what I perceived an athlete was,
that power athlete specific.
Yeah, and there was like holiday outfits out there, dude. There was like Mrs. Claus was like outrunning me by like
people not taking it seriously or taking it lightly, right?
What do you mean?
People in fucking Christmas outfits, you know, bouncing about, doing
bouncing
ultras,
quick,
in the cold ass morning.
All types of body shapes, guys. Like short, tall, like more body fat, less body fat, all types. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
And you see at that level of endurance, you already mentioned it. Like the body keeps going.
Yeah.
Right.
If you decide to.
The will is what breaks.
Yeah.
The will breaks before the body breaks.
It definitely does.
Well, for most of us, myself included, probably.
Yeah.
We know there are some people in wild circumstances who are also exceptionally, trained and high level. But for me, the will breaks first. Yeah. So like it sort of transcends body type. Once you have the baseline physical fitness to sort of be strong enough and have dense enough bones and all that type of stuff.
And it just comes to like, how strong is that will?
How strong is your will?
Yeah.
How strong is your
going.
will?
Yeah, it's different than
grind.
Yeah, it's
like you had at that moment.
Yeah.
You're like, I could stop now. Period. No, fuck it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
You got that mind.
Yeah, dude.
And you built that mind doing a whole bunch of scary, uncomfortable, new things that you knew you had to do. And you were afraid to do them.
Yeah.
You didn't want to do them.
What's your advice to someone who wants to get to that spot?
It's a muscle. And you flex it. And you flex it in certain ways, in certain volumes and intensities, in certain modalities.
Yeah.
And you push that will, and it grows. And then it's stronger to go to a heavier weight, a bigger, more intense challenge, more volume.
Yeah.
And you do it again, and you get stronger, and you get better, and it makes the next rep more empowered, enabled. The next crazier challenge, more empowered, more likely, more comfortable, more doable, more approachable.
Do you think that...
And you rack that up. You feel that feeling, right?
100%.
I just learned about this. In the brain, there's a zone, and it's the anterior mid-cingulate cortex.
Anterior mid-cingulate cortex.
Dude, you're a great listener, Nate.
Thanks, bro.
You're legit, dude.
Thanks, dude.
If you listen to any episode of Nate Biltz Podcast, no matter what the topic is, you're going to be learning about great listening skills.
Thanks, dude.
Because Nate, you're going to be listening to Nate, no matter who's on this seat. Okay. So the anterior mid-cingulate cortex.
Yes.
When you're doing stuff you don't want to do, you're just like, ugh, and you do it.
Yeah.
It lights up. That's the muscle. That's the will muscle.
That part of your brain.
It lights up. It's bigger.
If it was measured by like the sensors, that it's activated.
That's the one.
Okay.
Yep. When it's some hard stuff you don't want to do, and like you decide to do it because you need to do it. You know it's the path. It's bigger in athletes. Makes sense.
Makes sense.
When they looked at obese people who got metabolically fit and did the transformation for themselves, it got bigger.
So it is a muscle. So it is a muscle. So it grows.
Well, it's a piece of your brain.
Yeah.
It's not a muscle.
Okay.
It's neuronal tissue or whatever.
But it got bigger physically?
Yes.
Okay.
It gets bigger. And the claim was also that it's being shown to be one of the most plastic areas of the brain, meaning that it can change most readily. And so when you invest in it, it's going to grow. It's going to serve you. You're going to sharpen. Your will is going to be stronger from that workout or whatever the hard thing in life that you have to do. You choose that you have to do for yourself. That also means when you stop investing in the use of that brain area,
it goes down
because it's very it has high neuroplasticity.
Yeah.
It gets smaller. It gets more dull. Your will dulls. If you sharpen that will, it gets sharper. And the next hard decision that you decide you need to do, you're sharper for it. You're more ready for it. Stronger, more endurance, more intensity.
So that's literally, I mean, not literally, but you're flexing that muscle, that brain muscle.
You are using that tool that you were born with. You have this tool.
I think of the people who do that more often and like learn to master that part of the brain. It's a superpower.
It's a superpower. You just told us your story. It's a superpower.
It's a superpower, dude.
You casually moved on to an ultra marathon and you just did it.
Yeah.
You had the baseline fitness. You're blessed with the health choices you're making, and all those things, and you did it. You decided to do it, and your anterior mid-cingulate cortex is strong, Nate. You know that.
I do.
Because you do series of hard, uncomfortable decisions that you decide are good for you.
Appreciate it.
And they've happened to be very good for you.
Yeah.
And can't we all use a sharper will at all times?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So continue to invest in sharpening your will. Put it to the test.
Isn't that
And the next hard decision will be easier to make.
Yeah. Is that one of the main reasons, looking back at it now, why you continue to do the running? Because like after that big first one with Avery and Joshua Tree, like, or me at this 32, I'm just like, oh, that's it, I'm done. And then in the back of my head, I'm like, no, you're gonna come back for more. Like,
and you did.
Same thing with the powerlifting meet. I'm like, why am I doing this again? I told myself I was gonna do it one time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And how did the weight of your life in general feel the week that followed that ultra marathon that you accomplished?
Dude, I'm happy as fuck. Like when people have
things got easier.
Yeah, dude.
Things felt easier.
Felt easier.
Things felt effortless.
Yeah.
That
and you're just more joyous too, because like you went to a dark spot.
You went to a heavy spot
that like not a lot of people experience on a day-to-day comfortable life basis,
or choose to.
Yeah. You know, and I was like, oh, like this sounds really fucked up to people who are in these states, but anxiety, depression, like I kind of don't believe I have it at all. Like, sure, I'll be sad or if someone passes away or something like that, but doing these runs, just being physically active all the time, like the problems that I face haven't really affected like my energy and joy level and happiness, in my opinion.
Enjoy things more.
Everything. Like I'm in traffic in LA like I'm late for something maybe, but I'm enjoying the weather outside. It's a beautiful day.
Yes.
You know?
Yep.
Like I get for example, we train all these people. Like people are like, you're crazy. You're waking up at 4 a.m. to train class. I was like, yo, I'm trying to help these guys.
Trying to help people.
Like
you're helping people.
Yeah, they're struggling. They want to lose some weight for a wedding, or like they just want to get in better shape. Their knees hurt. I was like,
knees hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of knee pain out there.
A lot of knee pain.
Yep.
I'm just like I'm just trying to help them. Like I'll wake up to help someone. You know.
Damn, dude. You're grinding.
Yeah, grinding. You're grinding too, man.
You're working hard.
Yeah.
And you help other people work hard so they can flex their be better brain.
Yeah.
Sharpen that chunk. And doesn't it make your environment feel powerful?
Yeah.
Like you just mentioned, you do those things, you get into traffic, you're pissed off. You're like, oh, I respect this situation.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You can't do anything else about it.
I was in the dark place this morning at 1 a.m. with the kettlebell on my shoulder and I'm listening for you grind and just finding what's there.
Yeah.
Just pushing that.
It's also
be better brain chunk.
There's also this part that it's so weird that like all these people, you see the lights out in the city of Los Angeles. You're like, they're on their homes, on their couch, watching TV.
Comfortable.
I'm on the top of a mountain with a kettlebell.
Yeah. They're dulling their will actively.
Yeah.
They're letting it shrink, and you're sharpening your will.
The one thing that I
actively.
appreciate about like the group that you've curated at Nomad, the coaches and everything, like
solid,
bro. Like the inspiring.
That's why you fit in.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
Nate's a solid motherfucker.
Thanks, Hunter.
You know it.
Hunter's hyping me up, but
that's why you're listening, right?
These people are make the crazy things so normalized.
Yeah. People who are ready to jump in.
Anytime. They're like, I'm down. What do you guys going for a run today? Down. You gonna go work out today? Down. Like, oh, you gonna try this new thing? Yeah, down. Like,
and you know, it seems that people jump into those uncomfortable challenges when they're chaperoned by a really nice guide who is there for their improvement that day.
It made me realize the importance of like the job of personal training.
It's powerful
because
if you make it powerful, you can completely help people empower themselves.
It made me truly believe that, oh, you're actually helping someone not just in a physical standpoint, but like a life enjoyment standpoint. Like,
and isn't it all one? Of course, yeah.
Sure, but
the mind, the heart, the body.
Yeah, but there's a lot of gyms, I would say, out here that at least I've witnessed.
Yes.
Or how I started working out. It's just the body.
It's just the body. And
you will take supplements that might make you aesthetically more pleasing, but not as functional or not as like, you know, good for your insides. You know? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you feel this because you work very hard to help correct it for as many people as you can work with. But when we look at wellness as this segmented set of separate tools that all like deserve their own, well, they all deserve their own thought pursuits, but to be not as integrated as they should be in our heads.
Yeah. We were just talking about this before the podcast. Like, we were training one day at Nomad, and Sergio was doing Jui Jitsu on one side. Yeah. We're doing functional stuff in the front. Someone's doing powerlifting in the back. Like, someone, you walk into it, you're like, whoa, like, what's going on here?
What's going
Someone's
on?
They're rolling and sweating on the ground over there. They really got a barbell back there. They're kicking a ball back and forth over here.
Yeah. And in that corner, somebody's needing validation about their feelings about something shocking that they've been through. Yeah. And in the back, in the lobby with the palms and the cacti, somebody else is strategizing about their feelings that they're, receiving treatment with a psychotherapist about and how they want to address it with physical expression and improving, thoughts and things about their habits and their day. And, you give a lot of great advice on sleeping and resting and recovering and fitting that into wild, unpredictable schedules best possible and to do it properly. So, and you also give people advice on how to eat, what to consume. And when you choose the person who's treating and guiding these people to show them that you're out there investing in sharpening your will and putting yourself in these very heavy situations where you find out a little bit more about what you're made of and what people are made of, perhaps, and what the universe is trying to smash onto you with its hard laws. You can bring some of that wisdom, I'll call it wisdom. You can bring some of that wisdom to these people you're trying to guide to their ability to go find their own wisdom in difficult situations, be it work, family, friend stuff, patenting your idea, grinding to change different parts of your life situation, physical stuff, the sports stuff, the ultra marathons. You're the hero. You are the hero for these people, and they get your knowledge about how to do training and nutrition, and they also get to care and be in somebody's life with a person who's sharpening their will by choice, non-stop, and letting it empower all the elements of calm, control, and the rest of their life, right? You feel that?
I do think both of us doing that on a regular basis inspires the people we work with to continue to do it.
Yes. And you know what? If I see what Nate does and puts himself through and accomplishes and how he sharpens himself and chooses to, and
Likewise,
great that we get to choose too. And you're with that choice, you're choosing to choosing 100%. To jump into stuff and do the hard stuff. If you tell me something, I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna respect it. Yeah. This man has seen closer to the supposed borders of what we're made of. This person has undoubtedly found things there, right?
That's interesting that you say that. I never thought about it that way.
Whatever you might call yourself an expert of in the conventional knowledge base accumulation level that you have at that thing, you are thoughtful with those wisdom lessons you've discovered in those hard pursuits. Yeah. Right. So like, I'm gonna listen to what you say, man. On anything? I'm gonna consider it.
Do you find it more important what you say to the clients that you have now, based on the success you've had in previous clients?
Yeah.
Because
wouldn't that be reasonable?
Yeah. I think I just had an epiphany of it, because everything that a lot of products that I've recommended to clients, they don't even look. They just like get it, because they know that, oh yeah, Nate said it's gonna help me. Something. And I was just like, oh fuck, like if I did not give them like the proper, like what it made me question. I was like, is that product actually good for them? Like,
well, you proved it.
No, you're right. I'm just saying, like, for other things.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Like, is it
just like general recommendation stuff?
For example, like, this protein was great for me. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Steak is really good on my stomach. Like, I could have that. Yeah. Just
shout out to steak.
What's up? You know, and maybe someone their stomach doesn't process steak that well.
Yeah.
And like, I told them 100%, this is like the way, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, in that scenario, I might question, like, it might not be for them.
Yeah.
Like, did I think about that answer properly?
Well, it seems from this.
This is a fake scenario,
that you are.
Guys. Yeah. Now,
but even the way you're describing it,
yeah.
you're self-analyzing and pausing, and more importantly, being open to the fact that, like, even if you know in your heart that, like, this is a really good way to get something done, specifically, you are, because you've seen the depths of possibility with the willing sharpening of your will once again.
One more time, what's the part of the brain called?
The anterior mid-cingulate cortex.
Anterior mid-cingulate cortex. I got it. I need to get that down to a T. We're just gonna stop dropping.
I'll send you the Andrew Huberman podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shouts out Andrew Huberman, man. You're giving people like us in the profession the ability to fast track helping others. What do you say?
It's good, powerful information.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as you know, when you can create a story about what's happening for somebody, about their inner workings, right? It becomes empowering. So, like, if you know how maple syrup can help us during ultra endurance runs, perhaps, then, like, I'm gonna mix it. I'm gonna show up and do it. I'm gonna stick to it. I'm gonna avoid processed sports drinks. So,
have you dropped it? You dropped Gatorade?
Dude, dropped it.
Dropped it?
Yeah, all of it. Dang. So we know that.
And I mean, dropped like recently, guys. Like, Hunter kind of just.
It's literally been a week and a half.
Yeah.
So I'm speaking with newbie excitement.
And you don't have any desire to have it? Like, do you have an inkling to eat bad
processed food ingredients?
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll show up. I'm sure my, like, first shot endurance won't last super long. You know, I'll have cravings soon. But I haven't had them yet.
That's the thing. What's his name? Cravings yet. The knees over toes guy?
Yeah.
He hasn't had a cheat meal in like 4 years.
Wow.
Like, just purely whole foods and fruit.
Okay.
And, like, I was like, oh, it's possible that these desires, like, can be fought too. you know?
It's the same.
It's the same.
Be better brain
It's
chunk.
the same part.
It's the be better brain.
And I was like, what we're doing in this physical realm could definitely be done in, because you could be shredded at 8% body fat, 10% body fat, but still have like, you know, ice cream here and there, or a burger here and there, you know?
Burgers are great. Shout out to
Burgers
burgers.
are great. Shout out to burgers. But like to decide to have the choice of like, no, I'm just eating clean all the time, period.
Yeah.
Hey, back to what I think's crazy. Like, dang, that man's crazy. You know?
For sure. Crazy.
And it's tough in this world or the society that we live in now, because if you walk into a grocery store, everything's fucking processed.
Everything's processed.
Everything's
processed.
You know, and most people eat that every day. You know, so it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
In that.
It's scary.
Yeah,
dude.
it's scary.
It's scary. So, did the strip it all down fasted? First couple ultra length experiences, unsupported, all that stuff. Then, we signed up. We finally signed up for something.
Okay.
2 years in. So just this last year, just 2023, we signed up for the PCT 50. 50 miles, 9,000 feet elevation gain.
Pacific Crest Trail, guys.
Yeah, Pacific Crest in San Diego, and some rugged, it's fucking beautiful, dude.
Yeah.
You can see everywhere. See the Mexicali.
Damn.
Gorgeous. So we're like, oh yeah, we'll do this. Never done it. Yeah. Okay, so now it's now it's a thing. Now it's a sanctioned event. Now we got to show up at a time, start right away. You're supported. You got aid stations. These people are nice enough to like get the hell out there in the middle of nowhere and like set up a table and like ring a cowbell to hype you up.
Yeah.
Sorry on the table. It was incredible.
These aid stations, guys, are like, you're looking forward to them so much.
Yeah.
There's just like goos and cookies and fruits. And back to fueling, like you need sugar. You need salt for endurance stuff.
For sure.
Like, well,
so,
did Avery tell you about, before you go on to like how you ran this PCT 50, did he tell you about my cramps that one night when we ran at night?
Yeah.
So like
bad leg cramps.
Bad. And it was
early on in the run,
like mile 3.
Okay, but like, after a work day.
Yeah, long work day. 8
in
hour
the
day.
middle of the night.
Yeah, 8 hour day.
Out there in the middle of the night.
And I
with sandals.
And I took 300 milligrams of caffeine right before we
took
went.
300 milligrams caffeine.
Which, looking back at the Andy Galpin, Andrew Huberman podcast on caffeine, like there's a point where you could have too much caffeine, it could fuck you up.
People overdose.
Yeah. And it talked about how it could possibly lead to cramps as well while doing endurance stuff.
Okay.
And I've never experienced those types of cramps in my life. Like I couldn't move. Like I was just on the ground sitting, looking at the stars. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like my legs hurt so bad I cannot walk.
You got to get back down.
And I gotta get back down. But I was just like, I can't move my legs right now. And he was just like, well, hopefully they get better soon, bro. And he's just like looking at him. He's like, I know what it's doing. And I was like, bro, they're just cramping.
Which muscles? It's not gonna help.
Not gonna help.
Knowing will. So now we're playing with cutoffs, time cutoffs, and checkpoints, and like, okay, now you gotta go as fast as you can.
Yeah.
For me, at least, to make the cutoffs. I'm what they call a cutoff chaser.
Did you have an idea of like what the miles per?
Yeah, we knew everything.
Okay.
Yeah, we knew all the stats and where everything was and how much climb between stations.
Yeah.
They make it really clear. They share a ton of good, precise data. Yep. They really put, the ultra. It seems like the ultra community, the race directors really fucking. Yeah. They really do it. They really care.
They care. It sounds like you care a lot.
Yep. So we get these aid stations. We do it. All right, we got to hit the check off. So now training's different. Now it's like, okay, now we got to fuel for, relative to me, power. Yeah. I got to fuel to go faster and somehow figure that shit out and get better at that. Mind you, I'm like 230 while I'm training for this.
Yeah, Hunter's still built like a bodybuilder, guys.
230 pounds, trying to run a 50-mile ultra.
If you see a large white man with red hair,
I'm going slow. Okay, I'm going slow, please. Not to say that people my size can't go super fast. I'm sure they're out there.
Oh, you go fast.
I'm getting better. I'm getting slowly better. Yeah. So now we got to fuel for that speed. So let's figure this out. What's the deal? People do carbs. People got to get the carbs in. Makes sense, right? Your faster work, your faster force output, it's going to be powered by carbohydrates. It's just a more aggressive metabolism. You just create more forward power, and you kind of got like a 2 hour, depending on how hard you're going, you got like a 90-minute to 2 hour reserve on the stored carbs, glycogen in your muscles and in your liver. And you grind on those trails, for 90 minutes. You get close to the end of the storage, and you're going to hit the end of your stored glycogen, and your metabolism will shift to using fat, and you'll have to slow down. Your top speed will decrease because it's a slower, less aggressive power output metabolism.
Do you think I didn't eat enough carbs? Is that why I slowed down so much towards the end?
Oh, that day?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have eaten more carbs. So then, okay, so now there's all this stuff about how many carbs per hour, body size, how many milligrams of all the stuff, the electrolytes of concern, namely sodium. And then, quickest way to get carbs, of course, is what we're doing right now. We're drinking it, liquid carbs, but that can get a little screwy with the digestive system. We'll talk about that with why we choose maple syrup. It gets a little screwy. It causes the sour bellies.
Yeah. One
of the most common causes of dropouts in ultras is GI issues. Tummy problems.
The salt part's important.
Salt part's very important.
Very important.
Yeah, you know that every
you don't
neurological
dilute your blood. That's kind of what it is.
Yeah, that's right. Every signal your nervous system makes depends on the movement of sodium and some other things, but definitely sodium. Of course, you got to get your calcium in there. You got to get all those stock electrolytes that make the list. Magnesium.
And this is stuff you never thought about before prepping for this 50.
Well, I had this dumb mindset, like you can. It's all about toughness.
I mean, yeah.
You just get tougher.
I thought running was just about being tough.
And you got to have a lot of toughness, right?
Yeah.
You got to sharpen that will.
But
and humble
those
it.
other things definitely help tremendously, or even more so. Like they keep the engine moving, bro.
When you push that engine, you find the limits. When you go to those spots that we keep talking about, when you go to that dark spot, the hard spot, and you fucking go deep into that shit, you find there are interesting limits. And it's an interesting system out there. And toughness can get you very far. It's gotten us very far in certain endeavors.
How accomplished did you feel after that 50?
Well, the 50 we succeeded was dope. Yeah. So super cool. But we're training for the PCT 50, right? Training first for that. We know, okay, now like I'm shooting for like 100 grams of carbs per hour.
This is the first 50.
Yeah. I'm shooting for, a gram of sodium per like 32 ounce of fluid. I'm hitting the caffeine, all the, like 90 milligrams per 2 hours. And trying to hit those things and do whatever it takes. And we're just, we're going. We're working, and then we go out to train, and like we only have a couple months to get this very foreign thing down, and then the speed is faster than I've ever gone, and like the minimum, the checkpoints, like faster than I go. Like, fuck, this is crazy. A place we've never been, all this stuff. Okay, so like we'll do anything. What is it? Powerade, Gatorade, Tailwind, all those standard drink mix, Electro, Liquid IV, all those ones, and a lot of them are great and have a lot of great stuff. Noon, Gatorade, Powerade, Body Armor, all those. You've heard of them all.
Yeah.
So we just go on all those. We just start going. All right, I'm gonna get the numbers. I'm gonna get the kind of echoes like the if it fits your macros thing. Like if I can hit the sodium numbers and the carb numbers, so like it's in. I'm doing it. And then I trained, and then we did the PCT 50. We failed. I missed the cutoffs. I think I did like 34 miles that day or something. And I was too slow. They pulled me. And I failed. I fully bonked. Wasn't doing it right. Wasn't doing the nutrition thing right.
Yeah.
Wasn't eating enough, I thought. So then, totally humiliated, afraid of the version of me that can't accomplish this 50 thing that I'm trying to do. Sign up for another one. Sign up for this
right away.
Santa Monica 50. Yeah, like a day later. Sign up for Samo 50, which is a sick race.
It frustrated you. Is that why you did it right away?
Yeah. Frustration's a good word. And there's a lot of like.
Were you mad?
I don't think mad. Frustrated for sure. Okay. Like afraid of like, am I just the me that can't do this thing that I had the imagination that I could do?
Yeah. Did you set your mind to?
Yeah, like really? I have to accept that limit. Like, fuck. And then I'm like, nah, I'm afraid of that reality. It's scary. It's shameful, right? Like, it feels like I can't live with me. You know? Like, I got to chase it, man. I got to see what's in there.
Yeah.
So we chase it. And then we carb harder and drink more and eat more. And great summer of training, incredible training with you, Ali, Sergio, Avery, bunch of our other friends, Jeff.
We did it. We got a huge crew doing it.
We did it. We succeeded. We did the Samo 50 in the time constraints, in the checkpoints, and we fucking did 50 miles and close to 9,000 feet of elevation gain.
It's crazy.
With sandals, you know, and did it. We did it.
Yeah.
Cool. And then we did our thing, and this whole time I'm like, this is crazy. I can't believe I'm doing this. Yeah. I can't believe I'm accomplishing this.
That you're putting this many miles on this body.
And I'm looking at my Strava, and I'm like, holy shit, dude, this is fucking insane. I'm doing,
Strava's like the Instagram of runners, by the way, if you guys don't know what it is.
I'm doing, 70, 80 miles a week for weeks in a row now. I'm like, well, this, and like climbing 20 to 30,000 feet elevation, like doing real mountains. Yeah. And
you're addicted to the process right now.
Dude, it's so dope. And so I'm doing all that, and I'm so impressed. Yeah. And then all summer, I keep looking at, I looked down like a month ago, and I'm like, bro, I got a fucking gut.
Oh.
I got a real ass belly. Like, I built a belly.
Eating, running.
It's not muscular. It's not extra girth from the torsional, the power in my abs and the mass building in my. No, bro, I grew a serious belly
from running.
And I'm
from
like,
eating?
What the fuck is wrong, dude?
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong?
Yeah.
I'm doing the most athletic output beyond what I imagined I could do in my whole life. Am I just getting old? You know?
Yeah.
Do I just need to run more? Do I need to run 100 miles a week every week instead of 70? And then I'd start getting coincidentally served with information about food industry and the addition of fructose into everything, and how isolated processed sugar put into other stuff outside of its natural form, it pretty much provides poison for our metabolic system and the way we metabolize carbs and fat and store fat, carbs as fat, of course, and the way our whole digestive tract functions and how signals of inflammation in the gut due to this poisoning of ourselves by fructose added into everything in unnatural ways is like ripping us open and raining down signals of inflammation, bad inflammation across the body, and supplies fat in a way that like you can't really run it off the same. Like, I'm going to absorb glucose in food immediately into my working muscles on the trail. And if I got a lot of processed sources of sugar in there, I'm also going to have a lot of fructose in there. And if I'm drinking it to be fast absorbing, get 100 grams of carbs per hour, like all the stuff, the guides say I should be getting if I'm trying to be fast in ultras, I'm going to be consuming a ton of that drink. And if it's a fake drink, if it's an industry drink, it's got all the processed stuff in there, and the high fructose, and it's ripping apart your guts, and it's raining down this metabolic poison through our whole body, and I'm getting fat because of it.
That's crazy.
I made myself fat by drinking fake sugar drinks all summer to empower my hard training. Yes, I was using up all the glucose in those drinks and all the electrolytes in those drinks, but the fructose in liquid dissolved form.
And you're pretty confident that it was because of the fructose from all the liquid drinks?
It's an absorption that you kind of like can't work off the same.
Yeah.
Like, I'm burning that glucose right away. Within 90 minutes, right? We just talked about it. The storage as glycogen in the muscles and the liver. I'm using it. and I'm on to the next load. And I'm using all those electrolytes to empower my nervous system to function properly and move the sweat around and stay hydrated in my kidneys and all that good stuff. But that the fructose and the other processed ingredients that were undoubtedly in all those drinks I was drinking, just shredding me up, making me fat, ruining my metabolism.
So do you feel better?
Dude, I feel completely different.
What's the difference in, I guess, like sensations?
So first of all, we switched to maple syrup. That was one of the things that you helped me to understand.
Yeah, you were really intrigued when I said it.
Very intrigued.
Yeah.
Very intrigued. And I started reading, and there's some other people really talking about this.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned that your friend at Andy Galpin's lab.
They just mentioned it. She was like, "Oh, are you guys drinking maple syrup water?"
He's in maple syrup.
And I was like,
these guys are onto something.
well, I thought it was like, I know you do your research on all this stuff, so I thought
I've been trying to.
I thought you would have heard it.
Yeah.
That's why
I hadn't heard it.
And so when you said you didn't know, I was like, really?
Yeah.
And so then you went down that rabbit hole. And
I started going down it. And now, again, just a week and a half, but I already hit a maximum 7-day volume.
Oh, and and just because of changing all of these inputs.
Like 89 miles or something. Not, I could have just been really trying hard to fulfill the idea to myself. But
regardless, you did it.
But it felt great.
With it,
yeah.
It could be correlated.
So we have the sugar in the maple syrup. First of all, you can't go wrong, and you're not going to be surprised to hear this. You know this already. You can't go wrong if you go into a place where you get food like a grocery store, if you got one close and accessible, and get the stuff that just looks like it was on the farm, on the pasture, in the field, on the plant, whatever that thing is, right? So like make a list for us. What things come to mind? Like steak. You just mentioned steak.
Yeah.
Fruit.
Yeah.
Vegetables.
Yeah. All those. Potatoes.
Nuts. Potatoes.
Nuts.
Yeah. Oh, there's some pretty...
Yeah.
Milk. Whole milk.
Whole milk.
Eggs. Right? Fish. All that type of stuff. It's gonna be great. If you choose those things as your diet, just those things, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. You can't really go wrong.
Yeah.
So then if it's kind of natural, if it's close to in its natural form, and you have those things as your diet, you can probably guess that it's better for you than all those things in the center of the grocery store in a package, in a box.
Did you see the honey salt pre-workout?
Ooh, that sounds good.
Have you not heard of that?
Honey salt?
So it's instead of maple syrup and salt for endurance, I forgot
honey and salt.
The honey and salt
sounds great.
For pre-workout. There's something with that that gives you more energy before working out. I don't know the science behind it.
It's very tasty, isn't it?
I've only done it once, and I like the maple syrup and
maple syrup's delicious.
Salt better, but that one wasn't with water.
Okay.
You just do that straight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which I feel like we could do that straight, but we want it.
I've done it a couple times.
You did it?
Out there. So this has, of course, it's natural. So again, we can assume right out the gate that it's probably better than the processed version of itself.
Tree to your mouth.
Right. So they boil it, concentrate it down a little bit. There's way less fructose than the processed drinks. Way less fructose. And it comes with lots of vitamins and minerals, micronutrients that help positively regulate your inflammatory stuff and your metabolic systems. And it's got these oligosaccharides in it of a couple different types, and even one that I just read a thing from 2019 where there's a novel one in syrup. There's an oligosaccharide that's only apparently found so far in maple syrup and no other food items. And they are prebiotics. They empower the gut microbiome to function in a strong, high integrity fashion. So like, whereas fructose might go to the large intestine isolated and rip apart the walls of your large intestine and make it, the whole, the leaky gut situation, leaking the intestinal contents. These oligosaccharides somehow are helping with the absorption and metabolism of the sucrose, the glucose fructose mix that's in maple syrup. There was a study, of course, financed by Canada, I believe. There was a study,
Canada,
and they had an amount of maple syrup and a, same gram of carb amount of just sucrose in a beverage. And the people on the maple syrup with these special oligosaccharides and the micronutrient mix and even a little bit of fat, there's like a tiny bit of fat in maple syrup, they lost belly fat compared to the sucrose only drink group. So the same grams of carbs, the same chemical form of the carb, sucrose, but the package of all the other things that come down with the maple syrup. I guess similar in a way that fruit, because of its fiber, its fibrous tissue, when it carries down the little bit of fructose that's in fruit, it apparently tends to not damage the large intestine the same way. Because of that fiber, so that some of that plant matter stuff kind of helps chaperone the fructose to the gut microbiome. So something about the maple syrup is empowering that process as well via these prebiotic oligosaccharides.
So drink your maple syrup water and salt, guys.
It's got the antioxidants, it's
that's crazy.
It's maple syrup, baby. It's maple syrup. And of course we add salt. We already discussed it. We add a little bit of extra salt, a good amount of extra salt, because we know sodium is involved in the proper strong function in our nervous system.
We had that.
So that we can be flexing that anterior mid-cingulate cortex
muscle
while we're deciding to do that extra 6 miles after you feel that first bonk, and you're like, I'm going to take that step anyway, and I'm going to grind that stuff.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not going to confuse my gut with damage while I'm doing it, because I want everything to pass through comfortably and keep my gut right, so I can keep slamming more carbs. And then I'm going to throw in like a bar that has whole fruit in it, or I'm going to hit some dates, the prepackaged single dates that don't have added sugar or anything like that, to kind of add a little bit of fiber to keep me flowing with the liquid carbs. And I'm going to do that, and I'm going to hit my numbers that way without poison. And don't you think I can go further, faster, and feel better without inflammation, because I'm 100%. Not getting rained down with inflammatory signals?
It's funny, like, I hear the demonization of salt just as much just as much as like processed food. And some people don't realize, like, you need salt to survive, dude. Like it's the, how did you describe it? The transporter of what do you say? The transporter of,
so like you know, kind of nerves are like an electricity thing. It's just similar to like how batteries keep their charge potential loaded up. Sodium, when dissolved, has a positive charge, and it creates an accumulation of a positive charge. And then, when you send a charge along, the charge differential moves with it.
It moves quicker too,
and
right?
so sodium and the other electrolyte ions, sodium, potassium, calcium is some kind of transporter situation. They're doing that. They're sending the electric signal across the membrane of your nerves, and then it gets all displaced, and you got to replace it.
Fuel back up.
Replace electrolytes, right? So that every nerve in your body can function. And we don't end up in these like super local dysfunctions of the nervous system that lead to those cramps that you felt at mile 3.
Don't want to experience those, guys.
Right. You don't want to experience that.
What do you call it? What inspired you to start this Nomad half marathon?
Because people like Nate are the heroes, and it makes it easier and more accessible to others when you spend a day to chaperone them in their dark pursuit, right? We talked about many cases of it tonight already. One's between us, one's with friends of ours. And we're doing that. We're doing that for our people.
A lot of people are on board.
They're not on board.
They are.
Oh, they are. Yes, yes.
A lot of people are on board.
A lot of people are on board.
Like, how many do you have on that email list now?
Because, like, all these cool people are together, and they're like, we're all going to do this. Yeah.
You agree on it.
I know you. I know you. We support each other. We validate each other. And our instructors that we trust, because they do it, they're taking us.
I'm going to have to do it with you a couple times so I know the trail pretty well.
The route. Yeah. You know it already. I could describe it to you.
Okay.
Shout out to the Verdugo Mountains.
Verdugo Mountains.
We are blessed to have this local feature. And if you live anywhere near here, do you have a lot of listeners in Los Angeles?
Good amount.
Okay. So we're going to hit a nice chunk of people.
In Los Angeles, yeah.
The Verdugo Mountains. So the hikes that are accessible via Glendale, via Burbank, via Sun Valley, via all, La Crescenta, Montrose. Go check them out. They're beautiful, and it's kind of an isolated feature. They refer to it as an ecological island, right? Because it's a mountain surrounded by city, and all 360. 360 doesn't really connect to another range. You just see
city all over.
Yeah. So it's kind of doing its own thing, and it's kind of got like its little families of deer and its little squad of coyotes, and like that's it.
You see a lot of coyotes out there.
A lot of coyotes.
A lot of snakes.
A lot of rattlesnakes. A lot of gopher snakes.
Yeah.
A lot of tarantulas. It's just season in October. We saw some beautiful ones at night.
Are you scared of any animal out there?
Everything's scary.
Okay.
We're a little bit less scared if you add a little bit of understanding.
Okay.
Yeah. If you think you can predict anything about the thing, it's a little bit less scary.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So you see a tarantula, you know how it moves.
Yeah.
If you're 20 feet away from it, it's not going to jump and get you. You're like, I'll keep my distance. I don't want to get near you.
Yeah.
But like, all right.
Yeah.
It's okay.
The snakes are quick.
The snakes can be very quick depending on how you arrive at them.
Yeah.
Right. If you're lucky enough to see it, hear it, usually when you hear it, you already pissed it off.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about rattlesnakes mostly because gopher snakes are cute. They'll just go about their business. When they've got the narrow head, they look like a big worm.
Yeah.
Like a big long worm.
Long worm.
The ones with the venom stuff, they got to have a place to put the venom. So like, their heads are like this, like the worm, and then right around here they get wide.
Yeah.
And then they get in there. You've seen it. It's like an arrowhead type of shape. They store their little venom there. So if you see that arrowhead, that flat type of wide jaws thing, that's when you stay away from. Yeah. Whether or not you think you see a rattle.
Or not. Yeah.
No matter how big it is, too. Yeah. Because apparently the small ones can deliver more venom per bite.
Yeah. Do you think, I guess, running in the mountains versus running in the streets or in a gym?
In the streets.
It's
dangerous as fuck in the streets, dude.
It is. You could... Yeah, the cars are gnarly.
Super dangerous.
Yeah. I think it's safer.
You got flying metal missiles all over the place that aren't really directed to benefit your safety. All right?
You're right, but also I've fallen... And I've seen people fall on the trails.
Yeah.
So there's that part.
It has its dangers.
Yeah.
It has its dangers.
Yeah. I mean, we have...
Are you going barefoot anywhere in the city? Hell no, right?
No.
Okay, so that's more dangerous on that front, too.
Yeah.
Who's more likely to assault you? A coyote or a person in Los Angeles?
Damn. That's a good bit right there.
You know the answer.
Yeah.
You know the answer. It's a fucking person.
Yeah.
So running in the city is dangerous.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. When you get on the trails, it's also dangerous for different reasons.
Tulip might be okay.
And
so is Brentwood.
You're immediately like, I'll go at peak times, and if you hit the right trails, like I literally have the Verdugos to myself.
By yourself.
Like I can literally stand on like the most exposed ridge near Verdugo Peak.
And no one is there.
And pull down my pants and take a shit with no kind of cover.
Have you done that before?
And nobody will see me.
Have you done that before?
Does it sound like I've done it before?
Yes.
Correct.
You
take advantage of those true alone moments. It's truly you.
True alone, yeah.
It's really you, and you're lucky enough to find a space where you can do that because there aren't a ton of spaces available.
And the thing is, like, you were like, oh, I should do this more in my head because someone else is going to figure this out. The thing is, like, it's hard to do. Like,
that's the other filter.
It's hard to do.
It's so hard to do.
Yeah. How to find it, navigating the trails, like, where the fuck do I go?
Yeah.
Like, okay, now I know the trail. Now I have to go up a mountain.
Yeah.
Like,
especially the deeper in, the deeper up, Verdugos, the deeper up you go, it's like you're kind of less likely to find people who aren't ready to show you respect.
Yeah.
Because there's a filter, right? If you go far enough deep in the wilderness stuff, somebody else had to grind as hard to get there.
Yep.
And has to grind as hard to get back.
Yeah.
And has to believe and understand and trust themselves enough and kind of like get that the dangers that are out there and what they're playing with, and they have to respect that, and they've been respected by it before. That's why they're out there, right? That far.
Yeah.
So you it's no surprise that you do find some really interesting people out there at lap 10 at Paramount Ranch.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's people going. These motherfuckers here are only still standing because they also grinded as hard as you did to your limits, right?
100%.
So like, damn, it's like an instant respect.
Instant.
Like, oh, hi.
You're still going.
Holy shit.
Hello.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Isn't it wild?
Wild.
You can't be there without going to that place, right?
Are you excited to, I guess, bring the curated Nomad group up into the mountains for 13 miles? Because, like, you're basically sharing you're sharing that will.
Yep.
Like, because they're going to have to experience it.
Yep. And they're going to have to take those steps.
Yeah.
Nobody's getting carried.
Yeah.
No Uber.
Yeah.
You can't sit down and say like, fuck, this is my distance PR. I'm going to go home.
Yeah.
No, you up there. You're up there. You got to get home yourself.
Yeah.
And that's scary.
Yeah, that is.
Like you said. And we're chaperoning it. So people can have that self-examination and get closer to seeing what
they're capable of.
What they can do.
Yeah. How would you
flex that?
Yeah, flex that.
Flex
brain
that.
muscle.
That'd be better brain.
Be better brain.
The be better brain.
Ooh.
Yeah. You're going to flex that.
Flex it.
You're going to flex it.
How would you just...
And you're helping them flex it.
Yeah.
And you know what? The next hard decision in their life, you just made it easier with them.
100%.
You made it easier with them.
Yeah.
The hard shit.
Yes, sir.
Things you got to do. Big stakes. You build that. When you go do that stuff, you build it. And I used to like hear this story a lot. The like, oh, I spent my discipline points today on XXX. So why over here I'm going to lay back on?
Sure.
Oh, I grinded real hard. So like, oh, we're going to let loose tonight and get whatever super crazy processed food and drink some booze and do whatever the fuck else and not go to sleep. And no.
Yeah.
We know better. You made the hard fucking decision. Step one, you spent those discipline points. Boom. The shit got sharper. Shing.
Yeah.
Next decision comes around. What's dinner? What time is bed? Who am I hanging with?
Yeah.
What content am I watching?
100%.
I'm sharp. I'm going to do the right fucking thing.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It gets better each time.
You don't spend the discipline points and then you're
out. You don't have 10 in a day.
No. When you spend them, you got more.
100%.
You spent one, bring, your life bar gets, your mana bar in the games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just get more hearts, blah, 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 get more,
Blah, blah, blah.
more stamina circles.
Yeah.
And you keep investing in them to keep them there. Because if you
100%.
don't, they all shrink, right?
Yeah.
You keep going back for more. Keep sharpening. Keep sharpening. And then those hard decisions that you know you must make or else.
They become quicker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that's what
The
you
time-
do.
the
That's who you are. That's how you do things.
Yeah. Yeah.
All things.
All things.
And rest easy knowing that anytime you have to flex that muscle.
You can do it.
Like even, if I did a hard thing this morning, I usually get up at the 5. I got up at the 4 because I wanted to put my new advertisement up front that I got, the little airman and the sign. And I'm like, I got weeds in that front area. I got to fucking pull those weeds before I put this beautiful sign out.
I also thought you were joking when you said you were going to get a Nomad Airman.
I got the airman.
This thing is like, if you think about that, they usually have them at car dealerships. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And there is this Nomad blue, dark blue Airman right outside of Nomad. And it's pretty sick.
It's sick.
So cool, dude.
Yeah. So I knew like, okay, if I'm going to put that new stuff out that I just invested
clear out
in,
the weeds.
I got to clear the weeds out.
Yeah.
I got this scheduled. I got my run today. I got my clients today. I can't eat into those things.
That thing definitely draws attention to the gym.
It really does. I appreciate that. I'm going to get up at 4.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go pull these fucking weeds in the 35 degree
cold in
my shorts and sandals.
Yeah.
But nobody out there.
How would you describe?
And I pulled the weeds, right? And then I flexed that part. I flexed that Be Better brain, that anterior mid-cingular cortex. And the other thing about that part of the brain is it also regulates some dopamine movement. So, you know, when you do those hard, like how satisfying did it feel at the end of that marathon when you chose to keep doing the hard and keep, like, you didn't want it.
Felt good.
Felt fucking powerfully great. Powerfully satisfying and motivating.
I didn't think about it much though because I was on to the next thing already.
On to the next thing.
I was like working that night.
So you flexed it. I flexed it at 4 a.m. I'm like, damn it, I'll get up. Okay, I'll get up. I'll go pull these weeds in the cold so I can put up my sign before the clients, before all the planned good stuff. And I flexed it, and it felt sharp.
Felt great.
It felt real sharp. And I got that dopamine from hard stuff that I really didn't want to. Really want to press snooze and
100%.
not put up all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then I got it. And boom. By the time people show up, I'm on it, dude. I'm on it.
Yeah.
I'm ready to help them
so much
make positive choices first thing in the morning.
So much better than showing up like right when class starts.
Yeah, like, oh, guys, let's get there.
Yeah.
Which is also great and fun. And showing understanding. But I'm there. I'm like, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And then, like, I can hold that plank 10 seconds longer when I'm doing it with them.
Yeah.
Pushing them a little bit.
Let's go, guys. Let's go. Come on.
And, you know, I can stay doing my stuff. And I can avoid that C's candy box that's back there in the corner. Yeah. Because I already sharpened my will. So that decision's easy now. I'm already warmed up.
Yeah.
I already warmed up that muscle. I already got the lactate going in there. You know what I mean? And
it's weird how that desire goes away right away. I mean, not right away, but like through the continuous practice of that, pushing that Be Better brain.
That will. Yeah. And you know, the desire is still there. The desire never goes away.
There,
We still want our addiction. We're ready, though, to choose to wield that sharpened blade. I'm gonna cut that shit out. And I crushed it today.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And it's something as simple as like pulling some weeds in the cold. I really didn't want to do it.
100%.
Put on extra jackets and shit. And I pulled those weeds and I flexed that Be Better brain chunk.
Felt great.
And it got warmed up and it released some happiness and satisfaction. Yeah. And it reminded me that my brain wants, for its best satisfaction and expression and health and happiness, it wants me to swing that blade.
Yeah.
Swing that motherfucker. And I did that thing. That was pretty simple.
Yeah.
It took pretty little energy, right?
But,
not a lot of toughness. And then where was I all day? Where was I?
In the mountains.
Went to the mountains.
Yeah.
Got my clients, gave them lots of good, positive wisdom, hopefully. And lots of good listening, like you're teaching our listeners to do with it. You know, Nate, professional listener, excellent listener.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
And you know, I'm sharing with them, like, this feels great. You're doing this. You're doing all the right things. Yeah. Empowering. And dude, that's it.
That's it.
And then I was excited to get out on that run. And then in that run, when I hit, like, there's this segment that I'm trying to get my time on. And like, I'm fatigued as fuck. You know, I did get 88 miles in the past 7 days or whatever. Like, I'm fatigued. My sandals ripping apart. Like, oh, fuck. I just want to chill and like get a little coffee and a donut and maybe take a nap with its space heater. Nice. And I'm like, it didn't even enter my head.
Oh, nice.
I mean, it did, but like you said, it's out there.
It's like out there.
Just easier than I see it coming from, and I got this long blade that's just waiting now. Yeah. Like it's just hungry. It's thirsty for blood. And I see the distraction and that temptation in the blades, and I don't even have to look back. It's like, it's gone.
It's gone.
Missed. And now we're here. And nothing's missing in my day.
Yeah.
I'm fulfilled.
Yeah, it's great.
Didn't do no glitzy rich shit or buy anything extraordinary or
the feeling, the rich feeling, dude, from the mountain running, as well as just doing what you say you're gonna do in the day.
Yep.
Like, I said I was gonna do these 5 things throughout my day, and I crossed out every single one. Like, that feeling is better than any feeling that you'd get from a gift, dude, or like purchase, or that ice cream going down in your mouth. Like the feeling of, here's what I said I was going to do today. Physically, task wise, anything, all of it hard. And at the end of the day, sleeping knowing that you did everything that you said you were going to do.
Wow.
Insane.
ready for tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Ready to chop.
Can't
wait to get up and chop shit.
Yeah.
Damn, it's good, isn't it?
It's great.
Damn, bro.
Damn. How would you describe Nomad now? It's been, I think, over a year since you've been on the podcast, and like post-pandemic, post-strike.
Yep.
Writers are back, actors are back.
Yep.
COVID is back.
It is back. It's back, baby.
But it's better than ever in the sense of like nothing's shutting down anymore.
Yeah.
You could not wear masks in the gym anymore.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
and the laws are more not as square boxing you in literally. You know,
Wasn't that kind of a forced, dark, scary experience on everybody?
It's definitely forced.
We didn't get to choose it, and everybody went through it.
Yeah.
And remember, kind of when things are good and they're finally back, and people all describe this like, yeah, but like, I felt connected. I was connecting with people that mattered to me more often.
Yeah.
I was doing some of the things I really wanted to do, and it felt adventurous.
Yeah.
It felt exciting. Granted, terrible things happened during that time, of course, to a lot of people. But for a lot of people, it's like the opportunity to be like, oh shit, like I
can do whatever I want.
I didn't choose to go to this crazy place and see a little bit kind of what some of the darkness has, the chosen darkness. Like we all got forced to be here.
Yeah.
And it's uncomfortable and scary. And like we all got dropped into like adventure for those of us who are lucky enough to be able to call it just adventure, not terrible loss and death and all this stuff that surely did happen. Loss of businesses, terrible. But there was like, you're out in the woods. Everybody's out in the woods, out in some kind of shit, some unpredictable, scary stuff. And in addition to the real suffering that happened, a sense of purpose and calling, and you could call it adventure, in, you know, a less serious sense of the whatever. People got that feeling, didn't they?
100%.
Yeah. People developed their like new, most meaningful hobbies to the next level, and like everybody we know kind of had something like that.
Yeah.
While some of them did have terrible loss again.
Yeah.
It's all kind of back, and
It's all kind of back, you said?
You got to seek it, right? You got to seek it. That was a feeling of purpose for some people who weren't choosing hard stuff, and they felt kind of alive in a weird way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So if you're one of those, I felt like, damn, like I kind of felt like I had to be on my P's and Q's.
Yeah.
You know, like shit, like things are going wrong. Like it feels unsafe. Like, whoa, I got to use my eyes and ears. I got to like form some ideas about how things work here. Prepare myself for some stuff. That sense got plopped on a lot of us.
I mean,
without choosing.
You a lot with the gym, right? Because it's like
I had one scope. Other people have other scopes. Mine was that of a small business owner.
Yeah.
Very scary. Yep. Shut down stuff, especially especially affecting gyms, right? Gyms and fitness centers. Yeah. Got a lot of the worst of it as far as regulation on small businesses in this town.
So like coming out,
scary.
Yeah, coming out of it, like what is Nomad now?
Well, we all, and this is a flattering, meaningful thing for me. A lot of those people that were around are still around here.
Yeah.
Yep, they're still a part of it. So like we kind of all went through a wild, scary, terrible adventure together, and we chose to hold each other together.
That's a beautiful thing, bro.
And now it's like, oh, we did it. Like, yeah, I trust these people to be around with positivity and duty and some clarity. We can all trade turns on who gets to be the clear thinker today, because we can't all do it all the time. Sure. And good trust and good power and respect.
Yeah.
And you guys want to do a half marathon in the mountains? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. That's one thing that I do love.
It's no big deal now.
Every time in that space, I feel good energy from the clients as well as everyone who works there. You know?
Yeah, it's all one squad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
it takes two to tango.
Yeah. But like, I know for a fact, like all of us as well as like clients like have problems. Like it's just like life.
That's the constant, man.
Yeah.
That's the guarantee. It's
Yeah.
the only guarantee.
It's the only guarantee.
For sure, dude.
But I know when I go in there, it's like I know you're gonna be smiling. Oh, I'm gonna see Hunter smiling in 10 seconds. Like
Everybody's gonna see Nate smiling.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
You know,
and you when you make those choices, you're really controlling your reality, your environment.
Yeah.
You know, when you like you mentioned in traffic, when you're stuck and you're like, you feel good. Okay, I don't need to choose the stress in this moment.
Yeah.
That'll be there regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And you might make some considerate choices at the wheel. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that, well, somebody will see that. Somebody will be like, oh, that dude's chilling. A lot of people will be like, that dude's chilling. Fuck him. I can't chill right now. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
But somebody will be like, who was on the edge teetering of choices. They'll be like, oh, damn. Yeah, that guy let that. Yeah.
Can't do anything about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
You let that person.
How would you-
nice.
how
That's
would-
super nice. And so Nate, you're controlling your soup.
Thanks, dude.
You know what I mean? You listen to positive content, empowering stuff.
Back to diet.
You
Back
watch
to
empowering
diet.
stuff. You put foods in your body that are going to empower good metabolism, less damage.
I don't know. Too many joints in, bro. The DoorDash comes out, the tacos come out.
So yeah, we'll do a quick on that, how to control that, in a second. But you know, you're doing it.
Yeah, doing it, bro. Back to the Nomad stuff. I really want you to describe like what Nomad is, like the type of training, like
you know, everything you got us talking about tonight. A lot of positive, powerful tools that we mentioned that are in all of us, right? And also somehow we got on the fact that the standard approach on health here is very segmented, but you know, it all has to play together to get the best pictures for people.
Doesn't necessarily need to play all together, in my opinion. I mean, yes, play all together, but like you can experience them separately.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's how it's structured right now.
Yeah.
And it would help us all if we all decided to like see it all as one.
As one.
And like somebody losing some fat isn't the only signal of them getting stronger, better, smarter, more lovely, more considerate.
I'll give you a good example. So I'm training a client who is on the bigger side.
Yep.
And he hasn't lost.
And you work hard for this guy.
Thank you.
I see you putting effort.
Thank you. And he hasn't lost a lot of pounds per se. But he's walking every day, right? He could get his butt below his knees now.
Yep.
We've been working on. He hasn't breathed through his nose in years, and now he can breathe through his nose.
That's a huge health help for
Huge
people.
help.
Major upgrade.
I listened to Huberman and talks about water intake. You know, half your body weight in ounces, right? For on days you don't work out, and about 25% more for when you're having a hard endurance workout.
Makes sense.
And I was like, how much water are you drinking? He told me, and it was almost double of what you should have. He was waking up 6 times a night going to go pee.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. You don't get good quality sleep like that. He's
so it's getting in the way of his sleep.
100%.
Damn.
You wake up 6 times in the middle of the night, you're gonna not sleep well.
Yeah.
Waking up 1 time in the middle of the night now.
Because drop the water intake. Smart, Nate.
You know? And I was like, yeah, you don't see necessarily the weight going down a ton yet. You could breathe through your nose better. You're waking up only 1 time in the middle of the night now.
Quality sleep.
You know?
Powerful.
So I was like, this is definitely going to compound.
Oh, yeah.
In the near future.
And you're helping him to channel his ability to work hard.
100%.
Right.
Well, not necessarily work hard, because like I feel like you can know how to work hard, but what if it was working hard like doing the wrong things?
Doing the wrong things, yeah.
Like
so
I tell you to eat more protein and you just eat hamburger patties with like a ton of fucking
bad stuff,
avocado oil, or vegetable oil, you know, like,
drench it in vegetable
oil. Like, no, that's not how you eat it. You talk grass fed fucking steaks or
the best,
the best shit, you know.
And regardless of whatever pounds he's lost, and one of his stated goals is losing fat, right? You helped guide him to the right direction to put his newly motivated hard effort, right? And so he put effort out, he did the hard stuff. I don't care how much his waist has changed yet. What do you think about the size of his Be Better brain?
No, it's growing.
You think that's boosting with upgrades?
Boost.
And what do you think that's doing to the rest of his life and his other decisions?
Helping tremendously.
He's come into all the fights with a sharper blade now.
Yeah.
All of them. And
coming at fitness from that perspective is I don't know how to describe it. I think it's beneficial maybe, or for some people more acceptable. Like, I could do fitness this way.
I can sharpen my will today.
Yeah.
Now, you're damn right if you say when you sharpen that will and you use it in a bunch of areas of your life and you get empowered with information that helps guide the direction you swing that blade, won't you generally hit your fitness goals also?
Sure.
He'll lose the fat, right?
Yeah.
He'll lose the size. On what schedule or what comes first, whatever. But the more you sharpen that will, that Be Better brain,
It's going to get better.
It's going to happen. And the decisions that will compound to help him get those simple fitness goals that he mentioned earlier, that's going to be cake, man.
So back to the Nomad training, though.
This is Nomad training.
It's Nomad training.
This is Nomad training.
All of it.
All of it. Again, conventional exercise is fun and helps you prepare for hard, weird stuff. And when we choose to connect with each other, have to trust each other, do some scary, kind of risky stuff, do some really uncomfortable stuff that really pushes you, talk about why.
Yeah, I feel like a big part of fitness is in a lot of gyms is like, I'm the trainer, you do this, period. Why? Because I said so. It's
because
like,
I said
it's
so.
basically like the kid and the mom, like the worst way to teach your kid how to tell your kid to do something, not tell him why.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Tell him why, so he understands, and he understands why he's doing the thing he's doing.
Understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then they'll do it more often because they understand it.
They understand it.
And they believe in it because
They believe in it.
Yeah.
And when you believe in the story towards something that you're trying to achieve, it makes motivation show up more often. And it makes a satisfaction from walking that path more satisfying.
100%.
And you can articulate it to yourself in a way that's like, oh, well, I know that if I take that step, it goes to that door. So like,
let's do it. Let's take
I'm
that step.
gonna take the steps.
Yeah.
I know where it goes. I know it's in that whatever it's there, that destination.
I guess the point that I wanted to get at is being in your space. Thank you for allowing me the last couple of years to train at your space. I appreciate it.
You really add to it.
Thanks, brother.
In all the ways that are specifically Nomad.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And we discussed them at length tonight, so you should know what we're talking about. But he's the guy that has people connect.
Thank you.
People connect. Very important. Connection.
Yeah.
You're the guy that has your people talking about the things that are challenging to them and to their brains.
Yeah.
The things that maybe are challenging about the world and new topics. Let me get your brain working. Let me get you wrapped around this big issue or this question that's happening out there right now. What do you think about this thing?
Yeah.
Where are you coming? Oh, I haven't thought about it. Well, let's be thoughtful about it. Flex that fucking muscle. You do that. You give people the fun games that makes them playful. You mentioned freeing yourself, the child you, right? Being liberated.
Yeah.
You design opportunities to liberate and get out of the standard stuff and get into like,
Thanks,
oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you do the hard stuff.
Yeah.
And then you, in your own time, go do the hard stuff. Yeah. So now you're becoming a stronger authority in the wisdom of how things work.
100%.
Because you're pushing yourself like that.
Yeah.
So all that stuff, that's how health can be approached.
Just feeding off you guys.
That's really how health can be approached.
Yeah.
And a part of what you just said is even a part of that, right? we added to you, you added to us.
100%.
We're both doing harder stuff because of each other's connection.
100%.
Right? You just described a piece of it.
Yeah.
And the way you feel about it.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that it?
100%.
And don't you see your clients and their friends and their partners and people in group classes, people they talk to about it, don't you see that all happening all over the place?
Now. Yeah. It's integrated.
Yeah.
And
so that's what it is, man.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's what Nomad is.
And importantly too, that when you talked about when you get out there to those crazy edges of where you're gaining wisdom, pushing yourself, finding out what you're made of, you build an openness as well. You're like, oh shit, like anything's possible.
Yeah.
Whoa. And so we come with that openness. Like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this can look like a whole bunch of different ways.
Well, that's the thing that I wanted to touch on. It's like when I walked into the gym, into your guys' space, I saw you guys weren't wearing fucking shoes. Right? You guys were wearing sandals, and I had my Jui Jitsu sandals on at the time. I was like,
you had those sandals.
And I was like, those might be better for working out in because they have the back strap. But being in your space for around like 6 to 8 months is when I started to like realize there's a modern day equipment that you could use in thousands of ways.
Yeah.
Like you have a simple pulley system.
Yeah.
You could attach a pole to it. You could use it for core. You could use it for stretching is the biggest thing. Like the one that you do all the time with the cable pull for the hamstring stretch all the way to the lat stretch.
You love it.
Love it, dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're stretching out your whole back, your hamstring, and then you could activate some muscles on the way back. You know, it's both ways.
It's ideal.
It's ideal.
It's ideal. Stretching. So that's a big topic.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and there's a lot of information.
Now.
And it's building.
It's building a lot.
And it seems that there's some peer-reviewed literature happening. And what's our style? You just kind of described it. So we use if you want to get flexible, you know, you're getting flexible for hopefully a cause. Like, you know, I'm looking to open my stride up on the trail. I want less resistance to a long stride so I can make my current cadence produce a faster over the ground, over the miles speed. Okay, let's reduce resistance to the move. Let's stretch open. Let's look at the stance. Okay, it's like that split stance, right? So probably the back leg. It's like a lot of the hip flexor group and some of the quad muscles that are getting super tight. Some of that lower belly, maybe some of the intercostals, a little bit of lat thing going on, so you get your rotation going.
Yeah.
Okay, so we identify the thing. All right, it's always under. It's doing a job when it's in that stretch position, right? So would it seem to be the most applicable thing to just sit in a passive, loose hip flexor stretch? If every time I'm going to be using that new extra range of motion,
back and forth,
I'm going to be cracking off the ground 2 times body weight force. Pow!
Yeah.
No. Okay, so let's put it under resistance and let's take it through slow-mo, its fullest range of motion. So you load it up and you open it up with a very controlled eccentric, a super controlled negative with a good amount of weight on it, and you investigate under this spring loading muscle tension to the very end of the range of motion that you safely feel like you can go, and then you push it a little bit further, and then you really carefully turn it into a weight lift, a concentric, a positive, and you do reps with that. And it should be heavy enough to where 5 to 10 is like, whoa, I gotta put this down, man.
Yeah. Well, you even feel it with all the body weight stuff you guys do in terms of just like partner resistance stuff.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And clearly this position is a stronger position regardless of your actual strength.
Yeah.
That position is more strong just because your levers are holding a certain way.
Totally.
And so you could put
steering.
Steering.
It's a skill. Strength is a skill, and it's the physical properties, right?
Yeah.
The physical physiology of the muscles, how strong your central nervous system can produce and send the signals. The glycogen, the glucose stored in the muscles that we talked about before, if everything's working right. It's more than that. It's also the skill of steering the barbell up your deadlift, getting the stance right, controlling it all, balancing it. Totally. The run, can I be in the spots? Can I rotate my legs in the right way at the right times and choose the right cadence for the right incline and decline? Skills are a big deal. Skills are a really big deal. what's an easier way to dumbbell flies, right? The pec fly. It's a good standard one. So you're on the bench on your back.
Big stretch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big potential stretch for the pec major. Yep. You got your weights. You go down like this and you come back up.
Yeah. That's a great.
So the
great,
style.
Yeah, the style of a pec
that
fly.
we use
Yeah.
for flexibility gaining. This is perfect. So if I want to get more flexible in the pec major, which we see a lot of people with shoulder problems, it's a super common thing. We'll talk about that in a brief.
Go hang, guys.
That's a great one. So a lot of shoulder problems, and people are all day.
Yeah. This
resting.
way too, driving.
Yep. The same end of the couch for 4 hours of Netflix every night. And, my phone, I'm not going to pull it out, but if this was my phone, you think people aren't in that
Same spot.
in that
all the time.
constant bicep tendon tension
Yeah.
for cumulative hours and hours and hours and hours and hours a day. I don't care how heavy that phone is. That constant neurological grip and hold, that's going to cause some kind of issue eventually. You feel me?
Yeah.
Go straight to that bicep tendon, where the infraspinatus, the subscapularis kind of play. And it's not fun. It doesn't feel good.
No.
A lot of shoulder pain. So get off, if you got that shoulder pain, which you probably do, we probably both do to some degree.
Some degree.
Yeah. Maybe heavy benching kicks it up a notch.
So a lot of people talk about like irritated shoulder pains from benching. I don't.
You've been good.
I never had it.
You've been good.
I had tough pain back in the day, but every day I do the pass-throughs with the
Those are great.
with the
PVC pipe.
stick. The stick. Yeah, I just use the PVC pipe all the time to keep my chest and shoulders open, and I haven't really. And hanging.
You're actively stretching a lot. Yeah.
Hanging every morning.
Every morning.
Yeah,
Good.
wake up.
That's awesome.
I'm saying.
That's wonderful. So
Chill
you're
out.
putting your shoulders to use.
Yeah.
Right. Keeping them active. Keeping them sharp.
Well, there was a study that I read a couple years back that said that grip strength was one of the biggest indicators for long life.
I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's out of Peter Attia's stuff, is it not? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And
now, can you just, let's say you're fairly unhealthy otherwise, can you just work your grip strength and your shoulder mobility to the point where you can hang and not change any other element of your life and become super healthy? No. But of course, people who happen to have the grip strength like that, they're probably doing other life elements that are really good for them.
I don't think someone could hang for that long.
Without all the systems.
Without all the systems working.
That rings true also. That rings true.
So that's why, like, I tell a lot of people to do that because I'm like, hey, like,
it puts them on the path.
It's gonna put you on the path to be able to hang.
That's right. That's right. Can you hang?
Can you hang?
Can you hang, bro?
Can you hang?
Yeah.
But I guess where does your creativity come from? I want to get to that point because
you mentioned it. You already mentioned the solution to that question. Understanding.
Okay. Can you
if we get why
expand? So
like again, maple syrup. I'm like, somebody said maple syrup's good. Okay, cool. Like I memorized it. Great. Whatever. Yeah. What do I do if I don't have access to maple syrup? Like, how can I make the decisions?
Yeah.
Or can I take that knowledge and take it to a meal or something? Okay. I think I understand that when you isolate fructose and serve it without any kind of fiber to the gut, it can be a problem. So now I can look for other things.
Physical.
Okay.
Because the things that I see you do, I'm just like, how the fuck did this dude come up with that? Like I'll look at it and I was like, this makes so much sense.
So let's say with the pec flies, our goal is to stretch the pecs.
Okay. Can we use one of your workouts that you've come up with?
Oh, like a weird one?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. We'll do it with pec flies. And then we can do it with another thing.
Okay.
You mentioned, we'll do it 3 of them.
Okay.
And you'll probably know all the solutions because now
Sure.
You've been hanging enough. You know all the weird fun games that we fuck with. So pec fly first. Great. Good stretch. Yeah. We want Nomad style of stretching. We want it to be loaded up. So we got some good weights. We take it to the end of range of motion under great control. A little bit extra. And we come out of it with control. Boom, we do that, 5-10 reps. Okay, so that's conventional version 1. Is the goal to do a pec fly Or is the goal to stretch my pec major with a controlled high-loaded eccentric and then in a very careful fashion turn the direction around and come back with a concentric and do that over and over again?
I'm assuming it's the second one.
That's what we're really trying to do, right? Who cares what the arm sees? It doesn't matter if it's a dumbbell or something not designed like a dumbbell or 50 different things, or my friend pulling that back for me. Okay, so let's do that. We can use a wall, can't we? I'm going to put my palm up there on the wall
and press,
and I'm going to turn around.
Yeah.
Right. People have seen that stretch a million times.
Yeah.
Okay, how do we make it that extra resistance stretch style? You decide, since you know you're trying to put a controlled high strength eccentric on.
Just push.
You have to decide to put. If you don't decide to push, that wall equipment's not going to do it for you. Like the dumbbell's going to do it for you.
Yeah.
Gravity of the dumbbell, they decide for you. You have to control it, right? You have to put strength on. Okay. Since you understand, you don't need that anymore. You can game the wall. You can press against the wall and decide to keep the tension
activated
that you don't need to, but you know why you're doing it. So you're going to fake it, right? You're going to use your imagination and make it happen. You're going to turn your body around the fixed wall because the wall's not going to move for you. You got to turn because you know that the goal is to create the biggest range of motion to the pec major, and you keep pressing, and then you do like that. Okay, so that's like the level 2, and then like, okay, let's add a partner to it. Let's connect over it. You know why you're doing this. I know why I'm doing this. I know why we're doing it. So now we're going to push against each other's hand, create the force, and we're going to carefully, it's not a competition, we're going to agree because we know we got to go to the end of the range of motion and push it a little further where it's scary and vulnerable, where we're like, oh, it's fucking crazy out there. We're going to go out there together into that scary zone, have this experience of trust. Ooh, and really benefit from it. Yeah. Okay, then we'll take it to the level 4. Now we gamify it. Now we raise the stakes.
Yeah.
Now we have some fucking fun. Okay, so now you and I are going to hold maybe a weighted ball, it's a rock or something.
Dumbbell.
Okay, so now we have to press into each other or we'll drop the fucking thing on our feet.
Yeah.
Right? Now we got a high stakes game going on. And that gamifying is now forcing us to, we must choose to put the pressure in. And we know what we're doing.
Because there's consequences.
So there's no way to not do what you have to do. You engineer it into the task. You engineer it into the stakes. So now we're doing that. Yeah. And we're gonna go find it. And you're not gonna stop pushing, are you? I'm not gonna stop pushing. Because we don't want to drop that thing. So it comes from understanding, right?
That's very understandable. I feel a lot of people could digest that.
Sure.
But when I see you take 2 PVC pipes, put 2 25-pound metal plates on the ground, and do these like rows.
Okay, all right. Well,
I was just like, how did this dude just like get high outside and go up with this?
Probably.
If you guys don't know, okay, so let's describe this for you. So, you take 2 PVC pipes and you have.
Well, let's run it back.
And
what's a conventional exercise that you could compare that?
Row.
A row, yeah, cable row.
Okay.
Bent over one arm dumbbell row.
Neutral row. So your hand is neutral.
Sure,
to your,
whatever grip. Yeah. Pull the thing in.
Yeah.
We've all done it a million times.
Yeah.
Resistance band. I don't care. Excuse me. Now
you're still getting that stretch. You're pushing out to stretch, and then you're
less of a stretch on that one. More of like a
stretch.
We compare it to a sled pull, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're doing that row motion. Okay. We know dragging stuff across the floor is a thing. Yeah. You got a sled. It's a whole science, right? It's a whole like craft. And every gym's got that sled and the sled turf, and you drag it backwards, or you run it forwards, and cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know that dragging things across the floor, because we've moved furniture before and we moved a sled, like that provides resistance.
Yeah.
We don't need a whole weight contraption. Or if we know the goal is to get my arm moving this way under something that's hard to move, all right, like if I can pull furniture toward me, right? That's a row, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I grabbed your couch over there and did this, okay, and then maybe I have to get it to a place. Okay, now I'm motivated. Now it's gamified. I'm gonna do a whole bunch of rows and not really be thinking about
it.
A conventional row thing. So yeah, then like, all right, I don't have 10 sleds for 10 people.
Yeah.
We can drag little plates across them. Okay, let's put the plate down.
Yeah.
Getting down in a crawl, like, that's cool. All right, how can we stand up? All right, PVC's not going to break, is it?
Yeah.
I saw some YouTube where the guy was trying to test and see if he could break it and had like insane like amount of newtons on the thing.
Really?
It just wouldn't break.
Wow.
I'm like, all right, so I'll trust that. So then I go back to the gym and put the PVC pipe in the center of the weight down there, and then you like you're
rowing a boat,
like you're in Venice as a gondola operator. You pull that weight across the floor, and it's super fun.
Yeah.
And then you got to move it. You got to move this weight from here to there.
Was that the time when you were prepping for the kayaking?
We use that as a part of our let's focus on kayaking.
Okay.
It makes sense, right?
Makes so much sense.
Kayaking's dope if you have access to it. Do it, right?
Yeah, it's fun.
You got to go down and back and use the rotation. So we need something that's that difficult. Also, the sense of the force being way out at the end of this flexible polymer stick is like a weird.
It's a weird sensation.
It's not like holding a dumbbell. It's out there. It's like doing some other strength.
And there's a little bit of torque in the...
Yeah, so some give and some lag, and it's got to bend and flex, and you can't pull like you'd pull a cable machine, because now you got this other end of like a lever too, and it's a whole separate thing. So like that resembles that sense.
Yeah.
And it worked perfectly. And then we went out there and crushed kayaking like we've done many times.
I think I went once with you. You guys went multiple times though.
Yeah, always taking huge groups.
I can't believe they shut down the kayak spot.
They shut down the kayak spot. R.I.P.
Are you gonna try
Malibu.
to find another kayak spot for this summer?
Yeah, I'll do some work.
Yeah,
I'll find it.
I feel like one thing that I've really found very romantic about Nomad is the journeys, bro. Like, the outdoor stuff.
Outdoor, yeah.
There's not one gym that I have ever been to, and I've been to a lot, that has like these full-on experiences of just like, we're gonna go somewhere. And we're gonna use our body somehow to get there.
And we're gonna put ourselves out there a little bit. Yep. Indoor with the speakers and the locks and the Wi-Fi and the can go home at any time. Yeah. Can you really go find those edges of what you're made of?
Yeah.
Can you investigate it the same way?
I don't know. Bodybuilders might say they might do that.
It's guaranteed that they push themselves hard. Like high level people who do just gym stuff inside a gym,
they experience it.
They push themselves harder than just about everybody else out there. But in their little sector of people who are working hard, when you go outside and drop yourself somewhere, that's the true sense of you're the only person who can help you. Yeah. You know, I can stop that set of 30 quad extensions like on the way to whatever crazy competition. You can stop it whenever. You can. You have that option. People have strong will, so they choose to keep going. And that's incredible. And it's commendable. It's almost respectable in a different way that like you can stop at any time and you choose to do those extra. That's a special type of flex too. But undoubtedly, when you put yourself in a situation where you cannot choose to stop the set, you can pause, but you gotta fucking get home. You gotta get to resources and safety, or it's bad. Or you gotta be careful you gotta, Avery and I, wild boys again, you gotta depend on your grip strength on this snow X that you're gonna slide down the too late in the day, too icy because it's in the shade.
That was wild. I didn't even know you guys did that. I saw that. I was like, what the fuck?
You got to glissade down the Whitney chute with some cut rate bullshit budget snow axes with the wrong gloves with no grip strength and the wrong gear and too minimal, and you got to hold the fuck on, or that's it.
That's it.
Or you sliding.
Yeah.
That's a different discovery of self-reliance and self-limits than when you can just stop a set if you want to. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, 100%. And you taking the people through those experiences.
Yeah. Not that you should never get reckless. Like, I will never get as reckless as I am with myself and for my counterparts who also are willingly getting reckless with our group. No, we're going to create safe bounds to do very hard things. Yeah. But unfortunately, it requires the leaders to have gone 5 more levels. Yeah. So you can hold that space for people.
And to understand. Like,
you have to go do that dumb shit. You got to go find out. Because then you bring back the ability to chaperone that.
Yeah.
And if it matters to you to chaperone that for others, which it does for you, Nate, for sure, you got to go steps beyond them to be a trustable, sustaining
source
leader.
Yeah, but also like they trust you because you've done it.
You've done it.
Yeah.
Proof.
Like that's the biggest thing.
And recently, it can't be like you did a ultra 4 years ago and we're no. You need to be on that. Yeah. You need to be sharpening every day.
Like one thing that I didn't like about some of the trainers that I worked with early on in my personal training career, like when I was 19, was they talked about all these things, but they were just in an office all day. Yeah. Like she was the personal fitness training coordinator or manager or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And I was like, I've never seen this person work out. Like I've never seen this person do anything. Yeah.
Would you trust their word about something that's really challenging your brain?
Yeah, no. Right?
So you doubt it.
So
you
I
need
was just
another
like,
reference.
how am I mean, but obviously the scientific stuff was like great. Like it clearly she knew her book smart stuff.
Yeah.
But
certified.
So that's one thing that is frustrating. I guess our fields is like you could consider yourself a personal trainer because you did this certificate, but you also have never actually done it. Yeah. Like, I was like, what? You know, like that part is the thing that gives me that icky feeling. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And it's not in just our field, it's all fields.
It's all fields.
Yeah. I'm just like, how is this person talking about this when he hasn't done it?
Hasn't done it.
Yeah.
Experience as a teacher versus some academic structure and literature set.
Also makes you believe in yourself more.
Yeah, because you went and got the lessons. Yeah. You didn't get them from some other thing distilled. You went and caught it. No. You went and chased it. And you're like, oh, damn. Yeah. That's what they were talking. Yeah. Damn. Sure. That's what you got. Yeah. That's trustable.
100%.
Because it's true.
It's real. It happened.
Nobody told you that feeling, that mile 26, when you had to make the decision to keep going and finish your 50K. Nobody can. You're there. You got to do it.
100%.
You got to learn it. You got to feel it. You got to decide. You got to press the button.
Yeah. Deciding to do it and then committing to your decision. The hardest one is the cold plunge stuff that we've been doing.
Oh my God, you guys are nuts. I love it. I love to watch it. It's inspiring.
Dude, Rachel and Sean did like 20 minutes.
They're savages. And they're open-minded.
Super open-minded.
Right?
But I was like, yo, these guys are savages. You don't realize what you're capable of, too. Like, this water was probably low 40 degrees. It was so funny because I was talking to Sergio. I was like, oh, yeah, I was talking to Hunter about it. And Hunter was like, oh, yeah, they're kind of debunking some of that stuff. Sergio was like, I think Hunter just doesn't like the cold water.
I told him endlessly. He's like, wow, you come get out. I'm like, dude, I'm not about that. I'm not tough like you guys. but if we decide to do it,
you can do it.
My sword is ready. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
I'll jump in there. And we know also there's a lot of literature and neurology and related things to convince us that when you do a tough thing or a hard, we already talked about it. Yeah. It's the same brain
thing.
Areas light up. Yeah. There's a set of stuff that's like toughness. And there are studies where like they'll put people in hot and cold, sauna and cold and whatever, and get their tolerance test, their self-reported tolerance in different types of ways. And people who are into tough movement practices, like the yogis and the weightlifters, could stay in there longer
100%
without practice than somebody who doesn't do those things.
Yeah. The better brain.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Do you have any goals for Nomad right now? Because I just see like back to the Mazatlis of how much we believe in them. Like, oh, like this product, we've experienced it, we tested you more so than anybody, right?
I'm getting those miles, boy.
Yeah, you're getting those miles, boy. And you're like, you truly believe it. Like when someone talks to you about this, you could easily describe how it is a better footwear for you than a regular shoe. You could describe the benefits of it.
And we know why.
And you know what?
Through experience, right?
Through experience.
We went out with the version 1.
Yeah.
We broke it.
Yeah.
Okay, Jorge, let's meet. Your shit's amazing. this is exactly how it broke. He's like, Genie, boop, we'll fix it this way. He fixes it.
Yeah.
We go out. We break the new one. Oh, that helps in these ways. So we were able to get twice as long. I got to extra miles on this pair. And now when we took those extra miles, now these things broke. Oh, damn. Wizard. Boop. Jorge like solves it with more engineering. And we just kept doing that. So it was literally experience that taught the sandal the design.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And Jorge knows all the tools and all the interesting creative fixes and materials. And, you know, we tried the Kevlar string, and then we realized that the Kevlar, while it has lots of tensile strength, it rips, it shreds across its cross section more easily than nylon. So we went to nylon. Like, it's counterintuitive, right? You think you could sell Kevlar, lace it. No, it's not the best. Find the nylon, go back to the nylon. It's shred resistant. Okay, shredding at 500 miles, shredding at 600. What do we do? Okay, let's cover it with some polymer. Let's coat it.
Yeah.
Let's dig a line into the leather. And he etched into the leather so that now the lacing, he puts it precisely in that etch. So the lacing sits below the rest of the surface of leather nearby. So it's hidden.
So it doesn't pop up anymore.
It's not getting, it's not getting cut on because it's like hidden in this little trench. And he keeps coming up always, and we keep breaking it, and then it's just stronger and stronger and stronger. And the pair I wore today, 700 miles on some thin leather sandals.
It's crazy.
700 trail miles. Rocks, nasty, wet, dry.
Yeah, mine still look great. I've super glued the bottoms up a couple times, but
so how do we believe in it?
By doing it.
We experience.
But I guess my point, just like how we believe in the Mazatlis, I guess the nomad culture, the way the adventures, the outdoor stuff.
Yeah.
I guess how would we expand that bigger? Because the space is relatively small, and
it's small,
and within.
Well, it's big.
Yeah,
we can do a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, but
we've grown into it, haven't we?
The thing is, like, I think if it grows only 10% more, you're maxed out.
We're gonna have some trouble soon, hopefully. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so, like, so when we get there. What's the game plan?
The quest should be chaperoning that empowering in a quality way of people.
When Nomad maxes out, bro. Like,
scaling.
Yeah, scaling.
And you know that's the biggest puzzle in small business. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, I gave you that Leads book, right?
Sick.
And the lessons in it, I only got to... I think page 15 or 20, and I used the lessons in there to grow the clientele that I have right now.
Yep. And you crushed it, dude.
I crushed it.
You built really quick. Yep.
Quick. I went from
super impressive.
Basically 1 to 15 clients in 3 months.
Insane.
Which is a lot.
Impressive.
Yeah. And it was just from the lessons from that book to like page 20.
Just a little empowerment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I know for a fact right now that like I really am maxed out. That's why I told you're the first person today that I told that I'm going to take a step back from bartending for the sleepless nights and stuff like that, and really focus on my goals, which is like the running, the powerlifting, and like if I have better sleep, I could do those to be a better teacher because I went through that experience for the people I have.
So you can go chase more experiences
and
more meaningful
ways.
And
then therefore I'm better qualified objectively because I've done better in the things that I said I was going to do.
Yeah. And more of your life will be steerable towards the good, the powerful.
Yeah.
Right.
Versus, I've definitely seen some pretty bad shit. Like at night, nightlife is a different game.
It's a different game.
And you see people enjoying themselves, but in a different way. Different way that is
interesting perspective.
Yeah, interesting.
Do you see it, and does it help you kind of be like, oh, I'm going to keep walking the good path. I don't want to be that.
No, I mean, like, also there's some romance to it because there's a lot of people with high status who do it.
Sure.
You know?
Totally.
And there's a lot of beautiful people out.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, okay, so you look at it and you're like, beautiful people, high status. So therefore, it should be cool.
Yeah.
And I've been like, I remember vividly that I was in this big party that I know some promoters out here, and and there's multiple tables, and like for example, like G-Eazy and Wiz Khalifa were like in like hands distance from me, and I was just like sitting in like the equal cool area.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, this is so sick. But it wasn't. Like I'm just like, I'd rather be at home working on the things that I want to get better at.
Working on the things.
Yeah, but the ironic part, bro, is like the artist type who are in there have gone through that. Like they do the writing music at home in fucking Montana in a house by themselves. Yeah. And they do like, that's the ironic part. That's what, like, I'm just like, whoa, like.
It's confusing.
It's really confusing. It's like, should I be here? Like, you know, like that's the fight that I've had with myself for a long time to, I guess, stay in it as long as I have. And it wasn't until last night that I was like, one night of bad sleep could affect you dramatically for the week. Yep. Like going to bed at 5 a.m. one night, it could fuck you up.
Any goal you have that week.
Any goal that week.
It's a little bit harder.
Gets a little bit harder. Yep. And I was like, okay, like I've done all these goals that I said I was going to do, but I made it with very hard conditions. Yeah. Very hard conditions. You know, like I'm forced to eat bad because there's no places open at night. Exactly. You know, like
that type of stuff.
Yeah, that type of stuff. Like, oh, like I'm running this marathon after like my social battery is completely dead at drained 12 a.m. You know, and stuff like that. I'm just like, oh, like you're doing this to yourself, dude. Like you have to trust that, like as you get better, more people will trust you to help them do the thing.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
So, but back to the Nomad thing, I was like, I feel if we were to use some of these tactics, these sales skills, these leads in a very organic, good, energized, beneficial, valuable way to people in this area,
which is possible,
that it could be maxed out, and I just don't know what to do. What would we do at that
then
point?
What happens?
Yeah, when does that?
Then what happens?
What happens?
Because we want to serve more people. Yeah. That good stuff.
Because like,
right?
Yeah, 100%. So say like your goal was to maximize Nomad in 6 months. I think with real good marketing skills as well as more accomplishments from the team, like. That's a very doable goal.
Very doable goal.
Very doable.
Yeah. I mean, just 2 weeks of the new year, people coming in.
I know.
Like, it's like, oh shit.
Right?
People are serious.
So like me and Avery and Sergio, like we'll get high in the back and like just brainstorm.
You guys get high?
Yeah.
What? What?
That's another thing. A lot of people think it's crazy that we work out like
with marijuana.
With marijuana.
Yeah. Well, it seems crazy.
Yeah, but it's not too, because like there's some science that says it helps you focus on the things that you're focusing on. So if that's an anxiety that you have, you're focused on that. It's the video games that you're playing. You're focused on that. Yeah. You know, like but what if you're trying to move your body better? I love stretching high because you could feel like every little muscle and okay, whoa, what's wrong here? Let's stay in that for a bit.
There's an inward perception that gets changed in a way that allows you to focus sometimes. Hyper-focus, especially on the physical, as you've mentioned. A lot of people share that. Now, we all have that lazy, munchy, there's even a word for it. They made a word for it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Stoner, couch lock. Like, I saw too many damn movies with that paradigm. So now that's just what I think of.
100%.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That's not it.
Well, that was the paradigm that was taught to me for
exactly
my entire life.
Shoved down our throats, man.
Yeah.
That's not it.
Yeah.
That's not it. We can use it and wipe some dust off and feel a little more dialed to go jump into an experience that flex to be better brain and sharpens that blade again.
100%.
And yes, different forms can have different levels of risk for different people. Let's take a real clean form, for example. We'll take a gentle, low temperature vaporizing hit of live resin. Delicious.
Tasty.
Yeah. No chemical solvents that can fuck with you in your lungs and get you all sticky and give you that popcorn stuff and be carcinogenic. No high temperature combustion from a flame, so we're not getting the carbon monoxide and all those burning byproducts that can wreak havoc in our respiratory system and to our genetics and all that stuff. Okay, we're getting some natural cannabinoids that kind of encourage our endocannabinoids to work with a slightly different motion and rhythm and direction, and it might make our sleep that night, if you do it close to bed, you might diminish the recovery power of the first cycle or so. You might void some REM because of it. But if you take that small dose, again, dose makes the poison. Too much of everything is bad. You talked about water already tonight. There can even be too much water, right? So you take a small dose in a healthy form of marijuana, and if you're that person, that perception shift can help you get past some of those distractions, and you just catch a moment of clarity, and you can set your aim, and boom, you can send yourself down that path. Those cannabinoids are going to wear off from that form of use in that small dose in a matter of
minutes, bro.
30 minutes, hour, at the most. Quick. And that point, your endocannabinoids are doing their thing and fueling the continued pursuit that you're on. Let's say we're mile 26. I think I smoked a light J with Avery at 45 kilometers or something. Yeah. I'm like, here we go.
And here we go again.
And here we go.
And here we go again.
And it helped me just refresh a little bit of that. You just shake a little bit of that dust coating off and catch that next line of focus that I need after grinding for however many hours on my feet. And in a very gentle way, I'm on the path.
Yeah.
Boom. And I will do that. I will choose to do that.
100%. Love that.
Totally.
But back to smoking on in the back and talking ideas about Nomad. So
we took it way far.
Avery was like, the vending machine has to definitely be seeable for people. And I was like,
I love it.
And I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Where would we put it? So we'd be like, it'd be near the dumbbell rack, because there's nothing really there, it's just that mirror. And then people who want water or snacks really quickly, they just get it right there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the spot. But he's like, back here, okay, so say we get a sauna or a cold plunge.
Ooh.
And make it a separate membership. People want to have access to it. You pay an extra $50 a month separately. Would that be beneficial? Will more people want to come in just for that?
Perhaps.
Maybe. And I was thinking about the prices and stuff. You'd make up. You could
make some cash
quickly with it.
Yeah.
And especially if you put in the classes with a few personal training sessions. Hey, you have access to this if you want to add another package to it. And I was like, and that's
cool.
big right now.
It's big right now.
Okay. So we're just how do you make it better? And all those things, we brainstorm a lot about it.
That's one of those ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering, in your head, for you, it's your baby, well,
what's beautiful now is, and you're showing me, right? It's not my baby anymore,
I mean, it is.
I might have loaded the initial coals in the furnace, but now we're all putting our ideas into this thing.
Yeah.
Now we're all putting our thoughtfulness, our consideration, our pride, our accomplishments, all these cool people, and then they're doing it for each other too. Oh, okay, shit, it's our thing now. So again, the things Nate Biltz is going to say, I'm going to listen to it.
100%.
He's proven a constant drive to more wisdom. So I'm going to trust your word, man.
Yeah.
We doing a sauna and a cold plunge or what?
I think it's a good idea, dude.
I'm with you, man. Let's price it out.
I think it's a good idea. And you have the space for it in the back.
We got some space back there.
And
the back is legit.
Yeah. And in the back too.
And if you come, you can hang in the lounge.
Hang in the lounge.
Yeah.
And we were like, what if
you can do anything in the lounge. You can do anything.
Because we were thinking in that area, there's a water spout there. Like, you just install a shower to clean off real quick after your workout. Cold plunge sauna real quick if you want. You add an extra, I don't know what the pricing is, $100 a month, $50 a month, whatever. And how much utilities is it going to cost? Okay, like, obviously you have to 10x that, or like, we would have to do the math, but objectively, I was just like,
Could be really worth it.
I think it'd be really worth it.
Wouldn't we enjoy it too?
We would definitely enjoy it.
Wouldn't we be able to do our jobs better too?
Avery's response to it was like, I think I would just selfishly like that.
And isn't that the most important type of scope on things?
Yeah. And then Allie,
what makes you perform
better? Yeah.
Everybody around you's going to benefit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And it'd be so close. Allie was like, yeah, it's just like, we would have to decide like who cleans the cold plunge every like week or something. I was like, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Well, yeah, I guess you get a cleaning service to do that.
There. You could.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and did you have any ideas? Because I'm curious about your ideas.
Okay.
Because like I feel like I see Fun Hunter all the time, like, which is awesome. I love Fun Hunter, but like there's a businessman behind this like small business.
And isn't it fun?
It's parts of it aren't.
Yeah, but like, I got the sharp blade, baby.
You it sharp blade. Yeah, I'm gonna.
We do it with a smile.
Yes.
You think me? Okay. Today was 4 for the weeds.
Yeah.
Yesterday was 4, and I'm getting back to consult emails and changing the list of billing stuff that needs to. You think that's a big deal for me? We just ran 50K, bro.
Yeah.
Spending an extra hour to like do the things that you need to do. You think the blade can't cut through that? You think it's not sharp enough?
I believe it. Yeah.
Smiling.
Yeah, smiling through it. It's like I could conquer this task.
I can get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe not conquer it. But like I'm
gonna do it.
I'm gonna slice through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But back to the ideas part.
Yeah. So understanding, right? That fuels everything. Because we can take the understanding and make 20 different applications of that.
Back to the be better brain though, like how do you make Nomad better?
When we really understand exactly what we're doing and why it's helping people, and there's a lot of ground to be covered there.
There's a lot. I agree.
Defining all this stuff that we talked about, putting it into real methodology, how to speak with people, how to listen to people, like you're teaching your listeners how to listen, how to give validation in careful ways that steer people in ways that they'll discover what they need to do. That's a whole craft in itself, right?
Yeah.
How we greet people a certain way, right? Greeting is very important. Give somebody that initial sense of safety and recognition and belonging.
Yeah.
There's a science behind all that and a set of methodologies behind all that. How do you make workout programming? That's the least important piece, right?
Yeah. ChatGPT got you there, guys.
Yeah. ChatGPT gotcha. How to provide that human leader that can clearly bring trustable wisdom in an open way that lets people make their own transformations. We need to figure out exactly how we're doing, because we're doing it. But a lot of the things are natural for you. You've always been parts of the Nate superhero. You've always had it, right?
Yeah.
Since grade school, maybe before. You've always had that listening capacity, that understanding capacity. And all of us have some of those superpowers.
100%.
And we're getting by because we have those.
Yeah, but they can be taught.
We need to define them.
Yeah.
We need to understand them more deeply. And only then can they be taught to certain people.
Certain people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People who are choose to be open, I guess to everybody, but people who choose to be open to those things. And that's the step
you
one.
have a really good...
that's the step one.
I don't know what the word is. What's the word when you see someone you have a feeling about them?
Intuition.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work being done about what intuition is right now.
Yeah.
A lot of interesting things coming out. Yeah. the physiology of it, the neurology of it.
Okay.
What's happening, what it's based off of, what gets activated. Is a person's intuitive prediction more often or not matching reality about
When you
something?
say intuition, is that also...
A feeling, the gut feeling.
Yeah, so that gut feeling...
Gut feeling.
Like, when you get that gut feeling that tells you to do something, like, you usually do it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's, like, I don't know, there's, like, the addictive, like, gut feeling, like, oh, I need a drink today.
Yeah.
Like, my gut's telling me to get a drink today.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if that's your gut. Maybe that's just, like, something else.
Yeah, we can define all this stuff in interesting ways.
Yeah. But...
Let's say something you can define it. How are you thinking about it?
So I'm thinking about, like, even today, we'll talk about the decision for me to quit bartending.
Yeah.
It's been on the back of my head for 3 months. I've been talking to you about
3 months. You've been going over it in your head.
Yeah.
The thought's been growing.
It's been growing.
Right? You've been analyzing
100%.
it. Right? You've been thoughtful about it. Mm-hmm. You've weighed out the pros and cons. You've talked to people you trust who have wisdom that you seem to trust based on their experiences. You've done all that stuff. That is now something you're acting on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
But like just the urge to like grab a fucking double stuffed Oreo, like whatever.
Yeah, but I guess the intuition part, like I've seen you like talk to some like trainers, right? Who they're like, oh, I'm interested in training here. You're in the nicest way. You're just like, we're full. You know, but like I feel like if there was like. Because Sergio and me always talk about, like, when's the next Savage Alley coming in here? We need another girl or something like that.
Yeah.
You know? I feel like if, like, you would be open, just as you were me, you know? Like...
Yeah, you were the most recent...
Yeah, the most recent
savage to come in those doors and become even more savage.
Yeah, so what is your... Because I could tell you know pretty quickly.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's those indicators back to defining those quality traits or characteristics?
Okay, and this is a good way to look at it because like we did that in real time.
We did it in real time.
Right. So what are the things we're really looking for? What are those broad understanding why strokes that can make somebody quickly into a more powerful machine in any of the directions? You had calmness when you came in. Right? Mm-hmm. You were chill. Like, oh, this guy's like holding his spot. That comes from wisdom and experience. All right, cool. What's up? Mm-hmm. No, chilling. He's got the resolve. You have to build that. You can't read that in a book. You can't idolize somebody with that and pretend to be it. Okay, he's calm, controlled. Consideration and understanding, right? You came in, you didn't just barge in. You came in gently, quietly. You looked to see if anything's going on. You identified yourself from a distance with courtesy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You got a moment. Very respectful, very considerate, very understanding. So I know you can default provide that for others. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. Boom. Check. We start talking. You're clear with your speech. So I know you can deliver your thoughts about things to somebody else. No questions about what you're thinking that time.
Where do you come from? So, for example, gyms out here, they're like, hey, you're certified. Yeah. Yeah. Other questions. Different questions. Yeah. No, I know. Like, you're certified wherever you worked before. Like, like, that's it. And you're coming from a more...
I don't care about certification.
Yeah, no, you don't.
These are the things we just mentioned. Those are certifications. I
said, how did you get your brain how did you get your brain or you to view valuable people from that perspective? Again, the same answer. We went and did it. Yeah. I got the experience. I started from like, okay. Previous people. Yeah, like, okay, I'm gonna train somebody. That's a conventional thing that I have some standard information about from like books and whatever, Muscle Fitness magazine. And I've been working out myself in the gym and bicep curls. All right, cool. I'll do that. It's a thing. Okay. I got certified.
the first red flag is like, okay, I'm in the certification, and I had been helping out like my friends in college and in grade school and everything in between. Like, I'm the one reading all the magazines. Like, all right, I want to show you guys how it's done, and the stretching and the resistance training and all that, the mechanics. All right, I've been helping people. I see how they talk around it. It's like all about like shame and motivation and reasons and purpose and am I afraid enough to force myself to make changes? And that's where all the work was. And so then I see the certification, and it's all, you know, it's all those like academic things about training.
It is relative. I think it's still important to know a lot. It is. That.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But also, you don't use most of it. If that makes sense. I mean, you do use most of it, but there's no practical. For example, in the gym book that I certified for NSCA, we were tested on the dimensions of how far a mirror should be away from a squat rack, right? Like,
okay.
I don't need to fucking know that.
Interesting.
Bro, right?
Yeah.
So there was like questions like that on there, but like,
so it could be helpful at some day, whatever.
Yeah. But like,
how mirrors work.
Knowing how much protein intake you should have per pound of body weight for like wanting to grow muscle mass, that's very good knowledge that you should have for any trainer out there.
Absolutely. You know? And that's very empowering information. Do you think all the people you see out on the streets everywhere in town, you think what's limiting their forward progress in life is them knowing how many grams of protein to get? What is it?
It's movement.
It's
what do you think it is?
The doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How do we get you to the point where you're going to do?
Yeah.
How you get past your fucking fears and your shames and your embarrassments and the weak be better brain that's all dull and sitting in the back of the farm with rust growing on it. You haven't touched it in years. How do we get you to take that step? That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's what's the limiting factor for everybody. Knowing protein will help.
Yeah.
Won't it?
Yeah.
Because once you get people to start pressing that button, they're going to need better steering directions eventually, better GPS.
Yeah. A lot of people depend on that, though. Like, it's like, I'm not there because I'm not having my 200 grams of protein. No, you're not there because you're not doing the work.
You're not doing the fucking work.
You know? And they use it as a crutch, you know? Like,
yeah, so it's empowering and, like, the opposite of empowering.
Yeah. How do you feel? We talked.
So it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So, like,
makes perfect sense.
Trained, saw what the convention thing was about. Like, wait, but that's not what we're. Okay, so do more of that.
Yeah.
And then do more of that. And then you see the other people around you at different gyms, like you have, playing those rules that the books say to play. And they're not connecting with people.
Yeah.
They're not creating these meaningful
relationships.
And there's nothing to lead from. Like you said, there isn't that. I've seen the edges. Wisdom. You're just professing from a sets and reps thing.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's also, that's so funny that you say the leading thing. I haven't viewed it as a leader, but it's totally that.
Yeah.
And like your older clients, when they come in,
we love older people at Nomad, by the way.
Did you do your little 15-mile run today?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah. Talking trash.
No, not that. Yeah. I mean, not that. It's also out of admiration. It's of like, oh, that's so fucking cool. I can't believe you did that.
And you know what that person did? After 2 days before I told them, I'm going out tomorrow on the second 22-miler in a row.
Yeah.
That person went out and pushed themselves to what their limit was that day.
Yeah.
They got on a trail.
Oh.
That old lady got on a little single track.
That's fucking
with
sick.
some crazy incline.
Yeah.
And she beat her time record to the top of the little Fryman Canyon section. That's what she did.
Yeah. It's awesome.
We did that.
Yeah.
We stepped out. So they can step out for themselves.
Yeah.
And like, okay, I'm all the way out here watching you from the deep end. You're safe there. You got it?
Yeah.
Cool. When you're ready, come a little longer.
Yeah.
And I bet in that time, I'll be stronger to go even further myself.
Yeah.
So I can create a little more space with you
Yeah.
to be safe. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. How do you deal with the uncomfortable client, the client that is not personable to you, because they clearly value your time and your knowledge to stay with you, to learn the things.
Yep.
But like, it's not a great experience. Like, my first time right now, currently, I don't have too many of those, and I'm very blessed to have that.
Wonderful.
When I was at UCLA training, there was this one lady who was late all the time. Probably 20-30 minutes late every single time.
Wow. 30 minutes late on a 1 hour.
Yeah. Would always blame me for her not progress, and then in my head I was like, you showed up 30 minutes late.
You're not doing your stuff.
Right? And then I was like, oh, are you back to protein? Are you hitting your protein? Are you getting your steps in, this and that, blah, blah, blah?
No.
And she was like, yeah, of course I am.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. So maybe just focus on the workouts more. And then, like, I asked her again, like, I saw her the night before, and she didn't know I saw her. So I was at BJ's brewery.
Oh.
I was having myself a cheat meal Pizookie.
Okay.
You know, and it's my body, guys. Like, I could do whatever I want to it.
That's right.
But no,
That's
it was
right.
awesome. Yeah. And I saw her and her girlfriend come in just like wasted, and like they were eating pizza and all these things. You could have pizza. Like, if you want pizza, eat fucking pizza. I don't give a fuck what you want to do. It's your body, your choice.
This person was going off the plan that they've set for themselves with you.
Yeah, but
Okay.
the next day,
That's what we're seeing.
the next day, I was like, "How was your diet last night? What did you eat?" I ate a chicken salad. This and that, blah. I was like, "No,
Chicken salad.
I was like, "No, you didn't. I saw you eat that fucking pizza last night at BJ's." Like, I didn't say it that way. I was like, "Hey, I don't appreciate, like, there's no reason to lie."
Yeah.
What do you mean? What are you lying? I was like, "I saw you last night. You were eating pizza at BJ's." And then she went off on me, cussed me out, bro.
yeah.
Cussed me out. And she just walked out. And it was like, "I'm not working with you again." I was
You
like,
called
okay.
out that vulnerability.
You know.
Dude, it's hard for people to face.
And I was like, yo. So that was the first time that I was like, oh, okay. Like, maybe you, like, what, could I have done something better there? Like, I was young. I was 19.
We can always deliver better.
Could deliver
We can
that better.
always deliver better.
But also, like, some people are just like that. Some people have their own demons that they're facing.
Yeah.
And they could project it on you in
Yeah.
this professional situation that they have the ability to pay for.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, what do you do in those experiences or those long-term relationships that aren't as meaningful as you would like them to be?
Because it's hard to get through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's real hard to get through.
It's hard to get through. It's hard to get through.
Yeah. Because I guess it's sunshine and rainbows when you're in the same spot with someone who is very understanding and learning, provides good energy, values your time, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And you're just having a blast while getting better all around.
Yeah.
That's fucking
So fun.
so fun.
So fun.
It's the best part of the job.
Feel respected.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, it's so fulfilling.
So
in
fulfilling.
all the ways for both people.
For both people.
It's like, I'm so happy to support this man because he's providing so much value to my life.
Yep.
You know, but you're also experiencing a lot of joy teaching it.
And seeing the effect.
And seeing the effect.
It's seeing, you know, and
So,
getting thanked.
Yeah.
Getting shown appreciation. That's a big deal.
Big deal.
That's a big deal. Yeah.
So back to the questions, like, how do you deal with the people who aren't that, who don't have that same experience with you?
There are limits to everything, aren't there? Mm-hmm. And you don't owe any certain person any part of yourself, you know? So you can start positively with the groundwork that, okay, they're there implying that they respect you and your wisdom. They're implying that they see some value in what you're giving them. And you can get some feeling of satisfaction off that, even if they're not outwardly thanking you or showing you that appreciation. Yeah. You can make that assumption, that very favorable assumption. But you can only make that assumption for so long until you need some validation. Yeah. And then you can also give yourself more tolerance by trying your best to understand where they're coming from. Those people have that negativity because they're in a state, probably because of something that was outside of their control that has them in that state. And if it happened to you, you can bet you would feel a challenge about it as well. And you can have that understanding. And that gives you a little more tolerance to go a little bit longer trying to just feed off the assumption that they value what you're bringing them without any validation. But there comes an end date to that tolerance. You start giving up so much of that endurance to that thing without any kind of feedback or any kind of growth or progress. You got to cut them off. You got to cut them off.
Yeah.
But because you're strong and you have that sharp blade about everything, you can use it to get through some tough times without validation with people who could really benefit from your service and your leadership. And you wield that blade as long as you decide to in those cases. And a lot of those times, those people turn around.
What's that feeling like when they turn around?
It's so hopeful.
Yeah.
Because you see something that you're like, they might be beyond help.
Yeah.
And then you see that case that you were doubting flip.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, people are built for it. You get steered the right way, and you control your soup with the right ingredients around you. You take in the right, you choose the best content and the best people to be around that you have access to, and the best environments to be in, and the best choices, and the hard stuff, and they come around. They transform. And so you realize, like, a lot of people in tough states, because they're human, they're built with that capacity to get into that good state, that powerful state, that self-empowered state. And it's like, oh yeah, you know what?
We got him.
We got him. Yeah. We got him, folks. We mixed our soup around us, and it worked.
It worked.
And you can let that person in traffic and control and make the space a little more peaceful. Yeah. And you can show somebody, a stranger, respect. And they might just crack if you hit them the right way.
100%.
And they might smile too. Yeah. And then you just made all these little spaces around you a little bit sweeter, a little bit nicer. And now you feel like you can just be like a walking. I'll literally make every place I go a little bit better. Isn't that empowering?
It is.
Doesn't that make you feel like the universe, those laws, like, you catch the right time, you get the right blessings in life, like you can spin those laws and make some real changes. Good things happen for all the space around you. Yeah. And everybody who walks in that space.
And it's a ripple effect.
Fuck yeah. Pretty cool.
It's super cool. It's like that's one thing that I wish more people knew about themselves, is that you have way bigger effect on the world than you think you do. Yep. Because you're huge. One person in this fucking massive world that you don't know everything about, and it's kind of scary.
Very scary.
But like, if you focus on just your circle, the people in your space all the time, and give it your best.
Give it your best.
It will help other people give their best to those spaces as well.
And it ripples, like you said.
It ripples.
Aren't the global conflicts scary and frustrating and heartbreaking?
Yeah, we were talking about this.
And doesn't it pull your heart? Like, how can I influence this in a positive way? And isn't that obsession valid? Doesn't it make sense? Yeah. What's the goal? To make the world
better,
as best as we can. Who do you have the most influence on?
The people around you.
The immediate space around you.
100%.
So isn't it the best way to achieve the goal of improving the world the most you can? Isn't the most efficient and effective way to do that is to pour all your love into the people you have immediate access to?
I like to think so.
Keep it small.
Yeah.
And it'll ripple out. It'll ripple out.
Yeah.
You can really help a couple people. Really help them.
Change your life around
but then you just if you help the 2, then you're going to help 4, 8, 16, 32.
Back to monetizing that stuff. For helping people.
Great segue. Yeah.
Is
because you know what? When you're rewarded, when you're feeling rewarded and appreciated monetarily is one of those ways.
Yeah.
It empowers you to do that job well.
Yes, but my point for that, it's like we live in a social media world now,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So basically, you're doing this for one person, and you record it.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, now we're getting somewhere.
And now, like, you have free media that allows you to help millions.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Right? And
More maybe. Yeah.
And so this small medium that you've shown to help guarantee, like, focus on this 1 or 2 people.
Yeah.
You could spread that massively now.
Totally.
The
Isn't that cool?
the amount of stuff that I've learned from a clip or 2 on like Instagram or YouTube is, I wouldn't have the knowledge I have today.
What a tool that is.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. And it's
so much of the stuff we've talked about academically tonight, we got from
those things.
the internet machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there for me.
Basically our internet diet.
Yeah.
Ours are pretty good.
Internet diet, the content you choose to take in.
Yeah.
That really influences our minds, doesn't it? You can have it make you more powerful.
Yeah.
You can have it make you more enraged and depressed
100%.
and feeling powerless.
Yeah, I would say we have a relationship with technology now, for sure.
100%.
Like, I need my phone to get to most places.
Aren't your thoughts a processed version of everything you've taken in recently?
Yes, but also, like, you have the willpower, not the willpower, but you have the independence to like, why do I choose to believe this?
Yeah.
And then, like, figure it out even more so on the internet.
You sure?
You know, versus just accepting it, because a lot of people just accept things.
Yeah.
From that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll just wear the big cushiony Hoka shoes and call it a day.
Hey, they're comfy. Have you tried it?
They won't go out and run barefoot and strip it all away and break it down to, what do my feet really need? Oh, not all that stuff.
Yeah. What's the importance of being open-minded to you?
Isn't there more to learn? Don't we know so little as individuals?
Yeah. I mean, you could always learn more.
Like a grain.
Yeah.
I might know a grain of
And the thing is, like, your brain can't hold on to that much information.
That's right, too. Yeah.
You know?
That's
like,
right.
I forget a lot of things.
Sure. Yeah.
You know?
So how fucking dare I be closed off to any information or ideas?
Yeah.
I know this, and all this is out there. I have no authority to prejudge any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's understanding how the universe works.
Why do you think so many people are, though?
Because the mass dark abyss, in any sense of the metaphor, is scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a lot safer in a reality that, you know, a little Roblox world of rules that I choose to put around me, and inside that limiter, inside that little structure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you most excited for in your life right now?
That dark abyss, man.
Most excited for that dark abyss?
Yeah.
Chasing after that shit?
Yep. I want to see how big I can make my Be Better brain. I want to see how sharp that thing can get.
Do you think about that a lot now?
Now.
Yeah. Especially after learning about that?
Really, the ultra running has put me on a better path towards those curiosities.
Yeah.
And understanding how versatile, like, again, the general toughness is. Because, like, it's not a thing I have talent for. It's not a thing I have past experience with. It's not a thing that I adopted in my youth because of, I got lucky with the people around me showing me how to, none of that stuff. I was too old when I started it. I'm doing it in a way that defies, like, that conventional information.
100%.
what? And then we did it.
Yeah.
And now we're doing it.
Continue to do it.
So like, that's just the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I did something so off of what I thought was in my cards or was even possible.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can see how far that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I haven't even started trying.
Yeah.
If that's trying level 1, then I just started at,
We
my
got
age.
that maple syrup now,
I
guys.
just started trying. So like, we're talking about the business.
Yeah.
Like, I guess I just started understanding what trying was.
Mm.
Now let's see where it can go.
Yeah.
With creating methodology around how to hopefully help people in more meaningful ways. I guess I was just flying by the fucking seat of my pants with our blessings to this point.
Yeah.
And now it's time to define it. I guess I just started trying. I guess I just, for the first time, understood what trying looks like.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Isn't that exciting?
This is exciting.
Holy shit.
I'm
dude.
excited for this year, bro. I'm really excited.
It's already dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, I didn't really think anything changed. Like, in my head, I'm just like, it's already cool. Like, I'm not waiting to do anything. Like, when everyone's like, I can't wait till the new year.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm doing everything I want to do in the new
Yeah, like
year.
I used my blade today already.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm out here chopping.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Yeah.
No calendar tell me when to chop.
That's the biggest thing. I was just so confused. Like, when people celebrate and they're like, oh, this year's going to be different. This one, I was like, I kind of liked my 2023. And it's because I just achieved the things that I said I was going to do. Like,
Damn
let's
right.
do the fucking same thing.
Do.
Do the fucking same thing.
Just do.
Yeah.
More do.
Thanks for coming on, bro.
Great to see you.
Hunter Seide, everybody. Go check out, where can they find Nomad? Where can they find
Online,
you?
all this stuff
All the
online.
stuff. I'll link everything. Hunter doesn't want to say it right now.
The Nomad Gym
HJS active, guys.
on the Instagram. And do. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Just jump in, do the thing. That's where you'll find your wisdom. You're not going to learn it from somebody else, from all the great podcasts. You'll get some knowledge, but you got to go create that wisdom and doing it.
Fuck yeah.
Do it.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. See you guys. Peace.